with your guys' story, because you're going to be looking for the same person, basically.
Cool.
And live streaming as well, that's starting now. So, alright, you guys would have just arrived at the Styes. So I'll update that location. But, yeah, we'll do a recap of last session, and we'll take it from there. So, last session you guys were in Yatar. And you traveled here because you'd found this golden goose token. It's the only item that was found on Queen Neri, the storm giant queen who was murdered. And you're trying to find out who murdered her, because whoever murdered the storm giant queen probably kidnapped King Hecaton. And because King Hecaton has been kidnapped, the ordning has, well, it's been shattered. And it's even worse because now there's no storm giant king to keep all the giants in check. So the giants are destroying the land. Hill giants are reaving the land for fruit and vegetables, produce. Storm giants are raiding coastal villages. Fire giants are digging up the ground and destroying settlements that get in anything that gets in the way, basically. Stone giants are taking apart all stone buildings and turning them into rock idols. And cloud giants are basically just ripping ancient monuments out of the ground where some villages stand, such as the Nightstone. If there's casualties because of that, then, well, the cloud giants don't seem to care, at least the evil ones. And then the storm giants, they're in the middle of this political mess. So there's a lot going on, but it's imperative that you guys find King Hecaton, because only by finding him can you hope to settle the giants down. They're in upheaval. So you guys went to Yatar, to the Grand Dame, this riverboat casino, this Golden Goose Casino, and you're hoping to find the murderer of Queen Neri. So you tried to speak to Lord Drylund, and he was very accommodating, Lord Drylund. He welcomed you all, well, welcomed some people into his humble abode.
Especially Ren.
AKA Ren. It turns out he was a bit of a coward, and when he was questioned and cornered, he was about to spill the information to the whereabouts of King Hecaton. But just as he was about to reveal that information, his nose started to bleed, and he dropped to the ground dead instantly. He was instantly killed by some unseen force. So you were just left to look for some clues, and you were searching his desk and document, and you learned that he was involved in this secret faction known as the Kraken Society. This, not really a benevolent faction, well, a far cry from that. They seem to be a group of spies, smugglers, slavers, and assassins. And you would guess that their leader is a Kraken, or at least they were founded by a Kraken, hence the name Crackin Society. I mean, Krakens are forsaken creations of gods left behind after a cosmic war that ushered in the dawn of the civilized world. They're ancient beyond reckoning, and they could have been laying dormant in the ocean for thousands and thousands of years. They're psychic creatures as well, and their tentacles could stretch far across Faerun. In a metaphorical sense, their tentacles are not like hundreds of miles long, but in a metaphorical sense, they could stretch across Faerun. So, serious business, this Kraken Society. I mean, what kind of power could a Kraken hold? They may be indirectly or directly responsible for the breaking of the ordning as well. So, you didn't really have much to go on as to where to look next, except for this single letter. You found this in Lord Drylund's office. He was in the middle of writing this note. It says, I'll read it out again. It says, "Hello, D. I write to you with high hopes that things are going well over in the Styes. I have heard the growth is even more exponential than predicted. It should be about a week to go from what I heard. These are exciting times indeed. I have another shipment heading up the Desserin. You should receive it within a day or two. To think that this could possibly be the last shipment needed. I've even thrown in a few specialties of my choosing this time. I hope it likes them. Jam has also been doing well, I hear. We can wash our hands of unneeded instruments later. I'll have to go on another one of my... And then that's when Rend entered the room, basically. He stopped writing that note. So all you guys know is that the Styes is it's a squalor, a dying district up the Desserin River, up the River Cerbrin, sitting on the swamp that is the Evermoors. About a day's journey. You guys had also ditched the Riverboat Casino, and the floor boss has also just decided to head off to Luskan to join the Arcane Brotherhood. So Pao Ming, and she had like put all of the crew to sleep basically, and you guys had just left it. And this is about a day later. You've marched up the road and you've just arrived at the Styes. So this is where we are now. Everyone should be rested. You guys camped on the border of the Evermoors, and you may have encountered one or two trolls on the way, but there's nothing you guys can't handle, and you probably disposed of them pretty quickly. You did your watches and whatnot, and now you've just arrived at the Styes. Like, you've literally just arrived now. And I'll just describe the Styes to you guys. I mean, it's you can see why it's called a dying district when you arrive. Like, for starters, the smell is absolutely horrible. It's a visible squalor. It's the Styes. The decaying remains of a once notable port district. Under bent gables, the carcasses of its houses lean against each other, languid, broken, and awaiting the peace of collapse. Door frames sag, dislocated from sod walls heavy with mildew, while splintering timbers support rotting boardwalks like broken limbs, disappearing into the thick, rancid water of the harbour below. In numerous places, sections of the boardwalks have fallen away completely, leaving broad holes that expose the polluted water. So this is once a marvelous port district with magnificent buildings, crowned on an artificial island that was the centerpiece of a broad bay that was held aloft by great oak piling. So picture basically a series of boardwalks interconnected with buildings on them, wooden buildings, and then some stone foundations with great temples and other establishments. Huge beams supporting these great facades of marble grandeur. But that was in a bygone era. Now the entire village has sunk in on itself. There's still an artificial island, and that basically consists of garbage. So the entire village, it sits on a pile of garbage with thick mud and rancid pollution running in disgusting streams flowing through the city. All of the buildings are sagging into the ground, many completely eaten up by the mire, and new buildings have been built upon them. And it's disease-ridden and infested, this place. So you guys have just arrived. Around the outside of the village, there are stone foundations, and then that leads into these gangly boardwalks where there's like a series of islands connected by sunken boardwalks. The entire village, I mean, it's barely a square mile. Like, you could walk from one side of it to the other in about 30 minutes. That's being slowed down by the boardwalks and whatnot too. So it's not very big. Population maybe a few thousand. And the water has, there's like a swamp base. I mean, it's set in the swamp, and the water in which this consists of this harbor is basically like a thick mud mixed in with dyes and pollution and runoff from alchemical experiments. So you guys have just arrived. You haven't yet crossed one of these boardwalks. There's a little bit of a marketplace set up here, and you've just got into the Styes now. You don't have a map or anything like that. There's like a bit of a market set up. The water is filthy, and the smell of sewage is thick in the air. So All right, before we introduce characters, you guys, the 6 of you, are just you've just entered this little village, and you guys stand out. Everyone here is dressed in dirty clothes, covered with mud. They're just commoners. Their clothing torn. There's urchins running around, and then you guys come in with your magic items and your armor, and everyone looking at you. You turn every single head as you enter this village. Despite the seedy appearance, the people seem kind of nice. They smile at you, and you feel kind of welcome. You notice someone else who stands out that really does not look like they're from the Styes. In fact, you'd probably recognize them as a purple dragon knight, and they're actually just walking towards you at the moment. That's Nara. Yep, level 11. Alright, so alright, we'll do character introductions now, and then I'll say how we tie everyone into this story together. So we'll start off with Thomas.
Alright, you see Thomas sporting jeans and flannel leather jacket, talking about this strange place he's from called San Francisco. But magic seems to surge wildly about him from time to time, and at the moment, he is a very deep shade of blue.
It's just a permanent shade at this
He
point.
looks nothing like that, basically.
The clothes are the same, but
Yeah, just very. Looks like he's from Blue Man Group.
Alright, and Norin.
you see a 7.5-foot tall armored man, antlers on the helmet. It's very important. Yeah, he's got a shield and a trident that he seems to be carrying around. Yeah, I'm a cavalier fighter.
Lily.
My character is Lily, or full name Indolin, and you can see she's styled after Ciri. She's a wizard who doesn't know how to wizard very well. She spends half her time trying to stab things.
Dan. Oh, was that it?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
Okay. Dan.
So Than is I guess kind of a lanky, tallish wood elf. He's wearing armor. He's got a shield with a dove on it. He carries a short sword, and he's got a spring in his step. Always.
Except when he dies. And I'm tuned to
Except when he
boots.
dies. And then he loses the 2 minutes.
And Roderick.
Pretty typical looking dwarf, but has a mix of some skills and usually uses a bow or maybe a quarterstaff. Somewhat good at tracking things like that, and talking to animals, and talking about stone.
You can identify a stone from 100 foot away.
Yeah, you are standing on stone at the moment as well, Roderick. So that's good.
Yep. Everyone else is standing in the slush, but I picked a stone.
You do notice that a lot of this village, however, is just kind of built on these wooden gangplanks, so it's not really your element, but I'm sure you'll make do.
Yep.
Rand.
Big, burly human. Not as tall as Norin, but he's taller than most humans. But now, don't look at the icon. He's got a magnificent beard that would rival any dwarf. In fact, he looks just like a giant dwarf at this point. A couple big weapons strapping to him, and always in a good mood, mostly, until he hits stuff.
For a second, I thought your entire introduction was just going to be big.
He's in a big mood.
And sailors are really into him.
Alright, and Nara.
Nara is a young woman wearing darkened plate armor, with no helm. There was a very dark purple cloak, and the clasp holding her cloak at her neck and her shield both bear the emblem of the purple dragons of Cormyr. And basically she just got purple everywhere that's not armored. And she looks a little sad, like she might be in mourning or something.
Okay, so you guys are actually here, Nara and everyone else, for the same reason. Because you're both looking for someone named Jarm. You guys had seen the name Jarm mentioned on this letter, and then someone named D. So, you know, a D is nothing to really go on, so you're probably looking for Jarm, and that's why you guys are here. And Nara was also looking for Jarm, but I'm sure she's got some bad news for you guys. So,
by the way, are we carrying around the Weevil?
Remind me, what's the Weevil?
Yeah, I guess so. I forgot about him.
That was the dwarf guy I asked about.
Unless
he's 5,000 gold.
Unless you
Yeah.
wanted to,
Oh, yeah.
Unless you all right, then Pao Ming would offer you guys a cut. Pao Ming will give you 2,500 gold and take the Weevil off your hands. Or you can choose to try and lug the Weevil around.
I think that's a good deal, honestly.
Yeah. Let's take the money and forget about it.
Take the money and don't have to go to Mirabar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a journey, and Pao Ming is heading that way. And that'll be a good cover for Pao Ming as well. Yeah, she's traveling this way to hand in a
2,500
prisoner.
half the reward anyway, so that's fine.
Yep, she actually pays you in platinum, so 250 platinum pieces.
Okay.
So, are we pretty much never welcome back to that town at this point? Where the ship, where we just came from?
Probably not. But I mean,
Okay.
we can go back to the Harper base at least. to get
Yeah,
our
because
stuff.
that's safe to land there, and we might go undercover. We're not usually successful at that, but
We're amazing at espionage. Don't worry about that.
We're the front door-
espionage
Our
and
specialty.
diplomacy.
front door kickers. Hell, friend.
Antlers everywhere.
Okay, so yeah, Nara, you've come to the Styes to try and to see what happened to Jarm, your comrade, and you'd learned that he was murdered recently, about a month ago, and you've been trying to find out. You've only just arrived in the Styes, like today, basically. And you went straight to the constable's office to see what happened, to put in a line of inquiry, and you were just turned away from the constable's office. You were told that it's none of your business, keep going or you'll be under arrest. So you've just been just wandering around trying to ask anyone if they know Jarm or find any leads, and you haven't had much luck. So far, you've only been in the Styes for a couple of hours, and then you see this group of adventurers, and they do really stand out, like you do, among all the common folk here. As you're probably thinking maybe they might know something, there's a little urchin boy who runs up to everyone. He's probably about 8 years old, he's dressed in muddy clothes, and he smiles at you all and says, Adventurers! Adventurers! Oh, shiny armors! Big weapons! What are you doing in the
Right.
Styes?
Yeah, it's a.
We're looking for Jarm.
Coin! Coin!
How come you guys are all running away from the boy?
Can I have some money?
He
Some
seems dangerous.
food?
We can perhaps give you some coins.
That
If
little
you can
hairy
tell us
man down
about
there will
the
give it
man
to
named
you.
Do you want me to carry a bag? And he starts plucking clumsily at some
Give him the
unsecured
bag of
items
holding.
that you have around.
I just kind of grab him and pick him up and hold him a little and kind of pull him away from me.
Make an athletic
Hold an
check.
arm length.
No, I'm joking. All right. All right. Well, yeah, he's begging. He holds out. He cups his hands. Please, sir, I'm hungry. Can I have some food? I have no food in my belly.
I'll give him a couple silver pieces. Here you go.
His eyes
Get
just
some food.
widen, and his hands are trembling.
Psych. Take it back. No, I'm just joking.
Do you want me to show you around the town, sir?
Please do. You can be our escort.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back. And
He's
he
not coming back.
he runs off and he opens up a sewer grate and he jumps down a sewer grate. And
He's gone.
he goes away.
Going to get his crew to drop the high rollers.
Should have cast Hunter's Mark on him.
There's there's a couple of merchants just selling some like poor quality produce, and one of them who witnessed what just happened, this guy here, he calls you guys over. Hey you, adventurers. You are this woman?
We are adventurers.
Points to Nara.
I have never seen her before in my life. Hello, friend. I am Noran.
Hi. How are you?
Nara puts her right arm across her chest with her palm open over her heart and kind of does like a half bow towards you without breaking eye contact and says, "Well met, adventurers.
Oh, very formal. Okay.
I am Nara Stonemoss. I've traveled far from the nation of Cormyr. I got word that a friend of mine here named Jarm, who I've known for many years, was recently murdered. And I'm seeking information, but I'm not getting much help from the folk here."
Oh crap! We were looking for John.
And he is murdered. Ah, well, shit.
Did you try paying for the information? Usually coin does the trick.
I have not yet. I have just arrived. I've only spoken to the local constables, and they turned me away. Did not seem happy about me offering my help.
This
Yeah.
beggar is got a rusty tin mug, jingling around a couple of what you can identify as, Roderick, as rocks, not even coins. Alms, alms, please, alms, alms, please, please. And you notice he's got this blistering red disease covering his face, and one of his eyes are like pussy to the point where it's been closed. And he's shaking around this cup. Please,
Can I see if his injuries are for real or are they faked?
Make
Or
a
his
medicine
disease.
check, then. It's not a disease that you're familiar with, but I mean it looks real. Please. And he starts clutching it at your arm, Nara. Alms, please. I beg of you.
Nara kind of pats him, like gently removes his hand from her, and she. Are there a lot of people like crowding around us right now?
You're on the outskirts of town, so there's only a few. There's about 20 or so people looking around you, but a few are starting to crowd around.
Want to try to subtly give this guy a coin?
His hands are trembling. Is it a gold coin?
Yes.
Many blessings to you. Praise the sun. Thank you, my dear. This shall put some food on the table tonight, and for the next 30 moons. Can I be of assistance to you, I don't know what I should call you, my lordship?
You can just call me Nara.
Ready to keep your bed warm for you at night. Paying them that much.
His hand is trembling and he's reaching into his coat. Nara! And he pulls out this piece of parchment. I have drawn this map. I tried to sell them for but a single copper. It's not much, but you can have it if you like. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have about the Styes.
Nara says, a friend of mine was killed recently. His name was Jarm. Did you know him?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry, Nara. I don't know anyone named John, but I've heard there have been many murders. They call them the Ghost Lantern Killings. Oh, I send prayers to your fallen companion, John.
I want to hand that map to Roderick if I was the one he gave it to.
Alright, so you take a look at this map. It's a map of the Styes.
Okay.
Cool, that's much better quality than I was expecting.
He's pretty good.
Hemlock Pit.
It's one of my pastimes, cartography. And he points to this section of the map. Here we are! And you guys
should join the guild.
are just on the outskirts here. Who's missing? Roderick.
Maybe that's why she's down on her luck. She went against the guild.
Can I give this beggar like a recommendation to the Cartographers Guild?
Sure.
It's like
Thank you. It's made from local dyes.
You say these murders are called the what murders?
Ghost Lantern, they call them. They say that the murderer carries a lantern with him that glows like a yellow light through the fog and haze.
And these are happening at night? I take it if he's carrying a lantern?
Yes.
Where? All over town or just a certain part?
I'm not sure. I seldom head into the village proper.
Oh. Yeah, because we do need a lantern. That might be an easy way to get one.
Looks at you strangely. Well, you have me here, kings and queens, if I may call you that. I'll be happy to answer any questions about any locations.
How many murders have there been?
I'm not sure. I've heard that they've been going on for many, many moons now. I don't really count.
I have a question for you. This place that you've marked on the map, the Hemlock Pit, what is that about?
Oh, hemlock. It's a plant of poison. It's used in alchemy. You see the Styes. It is quite popular with alchemists because there is no tally about how much pollution they may produce. The Alchemists Quarters, they use all sorts of herbs and they do experiments and The Hemlock Pit is just a giant pool of mud and alchemical refuse.
Yeah,
It's
sounds bad.
rancid
Gross.
mud.
Doesn't seem very sustainable.
Well, if you can get past the acrid miasma and the yellow haze that hangs in the air, many fine cures for diseases have been produced there, and many a good dye as well.
Sounds like many diseases have been made there too. It looks like. And
That's how vaccinations work.
He like
Yeah, probably.
pulls his cowl over his face and tries to hide this bloody red disease that covers his face. And he's like
Ashamed
itching it
of
a little
red.
bit. A red face. I am cursed. Forgive me, madam. I don't mean to offend you, but I can barely see you, he says to Thomas.
No offense taken.
It affects the eyes.
I told you he looks like a girl.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So I guess now.
Do you want me to tell you a little bit about the Styes?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
In better days, the fact that the Styes were sheltered from offshore winds was one of the village's most desirable qualities, but now the Alchemists Quarter just spews out all of their garbage, the greasy film of the miasma coats every building these days. If you are here for a devil's retreat, I'm afraid our village is not what it used to be. But the merchandise here is of good quality. I'm sure it's not up to your standards, so with your fancy accessories and jewelry. That is a fine earring you have there. Points to Than's 7,500 GP earring.
The main product.
Most people will be happy to barter, though. There are taverns and inns everywhere, large public houses, and some other places that you might find accommodating. If you're looking for a temple, I'm afraid no one here really sees reason to look to the gods. I couldn't even name a single deity worshipped here. Disease and famine and cruelty and brutality weigh so heavily on us. Well-meaning clerics are driven to despair. Perhaps if you look to the underneath, you can find a few small shrines. I'm sorry, but my throat is beginning to burn. It pains me every word that I speak.
Have you heard anything about Krakens here?
Sorry. If you're looking, I don't do drugs. If you're looking for that, then you need to look elsewhere.
Smoking the Kraken.
That's what they call it around here.
I've noted some popular locales on this map. If you have any questions about any of them in particular, then
You said something of the underneath. What do you mean by that?
oh, where there were once buildings that have been swallowed by the mire, there are still small snickleways, nooks and crannies underneath the boardwalk. Some are popular retreats, some are taverns, some are shrines, or some are houses of hill repute. I think with this gold piece, I might just go and visit one, actually.
Probably better spent at the mortuary.
And Nara says, "Why don't you get yourself some food?"
Ah, yes. Of course, I shall do that. And,
Perhaps the use of a healer. Are there anyone that has healing services in town? Is there a temple?
I know of no temples, I'm afraid.
No healing services?
He shakes his head.
There'd be a certain kind of healing at the House of Ill Repute, but other than that,
He, then, like, you can tell
Probably should know
that,
about that.
he's in great pain talking to you guys. He starts to kind of stumble off, and these two other fellows come up to you guys. They look a bit more well-dressed than your average beggar. And one of them is a half-elf, and the other one is a half-elf. They're both half-elves. They're male.
Which half,
Hey.
though?
They make a whole
Is it
elf.
like,
yeah, one's half of the other one. Yeah.
One of them has this very finely trimmed goatee, mustache, facial hair. The other one's clean shaven. They're dressed in leather armor. They have. It appears that you can brandish weapons here as well. Like people don't have weapons drawn, but everyone has like weapons on, a dagger clearly visible on their side, at the very least. And these two fine fellows come up to you guys and says, "Ah, hail, adventurers! Greetings! Looking lost, are we?"
Friend.
Huh?
Marsden Lime, this is my companion Ned Kelly. We spotted you from a mile away, looking lost and confused. Perhaps there is something that we can help you with. Looking for lodgings?
You might say that.
I guarantee you, we know the best place to find food, drink, and rooms here. Potions, merchandise, magic items, anything else that you desire.
Really?
Oh yes. We'd be happy to take you to a fine establishment, and you can make yourself comfortable there, and we'll be happy to aid you in any way.
I'm sure you will. Where is this establishment located?
Oh, it's on the other side of town, Frother's Lamp. 7 of you. We can take a skiv over there. I can take care of everything. We're both born and bred here in the Styes.
Skiff, there's no road?
Ah, I can tell that you're new to the Styes. Never a weary traveler would step foot on the boardwalks, lest they break through and fall into the slime and the mud pits. Then you'll have red face. You don't want red face, do you?
Not really.
Well, I can prepare us for any water travels easily.
Oh,
just cast the water in case we fall through.
I wouldn't call this water, friend. It's
What
more
would
of
you
a
call it?
mixture of feces, dyes, alchemical leftovers, and probably a few bodies in there as well, to say the very least.
not bathwater.
Would I be able to cast a spell in this town, Seb? Would that be something I'd have to find out first? Or would it be like
I don't
a
know.
bad thing?
What do you think?
This doesn't seem as like a place as strict.
We haven't seen a single
Strict
guard in sight, for starters.
Earthquake.
Well, when we're out of conversations, I will maybe cast a couple spells. if I can.
Save it, friend. Save your magic. We can get a skiff over there, no problem at all. It won't take long. In fact,
No?
this establishment I'm going to take you to, you won't even need to bring your own bedding. I guarantee you no bed bugs.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're happy to go now, you're going to need somewhere to stay. right? You can't sleep on the streets lest you be robbed.
Can I insight to see how sincere these guys are and their concern for our well-being?
Sure.
Perhaps we can come back in 10 minutes.
They obviously, I mean, it's quite obvious that they want something out of it, probably like a tip. But yeah, they seem like they want to help you guys. He says, are you going somewhere?
No, just need to discuss how long we're going to stay here and figure out our plan of attack.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just be doing a little bit of shopping around, and we'll come and get you when you're ready to head on. 7
Sounds
of you,
good.
right?
That's correct.
Great. He says something to Ned Kelly, and Ned Kelly heads off. He runs off to go probably organize things.
See you later, Ned.
I'll start doing the water walk
He waits.
ritual.
Ned used to be an adventurer like us until he
For
took
us.
a bullet to the knee.
All right. You just begin a ritual spell. Lay out your ritual mat on the ground here, then, and start casting and chanting. And this attracts a lot of people. These beggars start to surround you. Please heal me! Heal me! They have this blistering red face as well. Please! Please help me!
Unfortunately, this is not healing magic. I'm sorry.
Can you help me? And
I don't know.
you won't.
Maybe I can.
I don't think you'd be able to respond if you're doing a ritual, because you you have to continually chant for that full 10 minutes, and they are distracting you, Dan. So you need to make a concentration check. They're just tugging at you and things like that, poking and just begging down on their knees. Right, you're able to maintain concentration very easily.
I'll scatter 5 copper on the ground over here. Just toss it over on the ground.
Okay.
I jump on it.
A couple of the beggars, they start to there is about 9 of them actually surrounding Than at this stage. A couple of them start to trip head over heels. One of them bumps into you, Than, and this woman, she's taken something from your pack. This woman.
If I stopped the ritual, can I continue after?
You'd have to restart it. You can't. You have to use your action every round for the next 10 minutes to continue a ritual. If you stop, then the ritual has to start over again.
Well, I'm not cool with her taking anything, so I'll stop and grab her arm.
All right,
Or-
make an athletics or an acrobatics check to grab her arm. All right, you you grab her straight away. She can't resist that. You grab onto her arm and she yells at you. I've got red face. I've got red face.
Yep, and you also have something of mine.
Got red hands too.
So
Get your hands off me.
I'll take that back. Thank you very much.
All right. She wrestles with you and says, "Mine, mine. It's only a few coins."
Create a minor illusion of a knife in front of her eye.
When you
Jeez.
when you do that, one of these Marsden comes over and he says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Careful now, adventurers. You don't want to get yourself in trouble with the law here."
Oh,
We're not the ones stealing, so maybe this woman should be in trouble with the law since she's trying to steal our coin.
we won't tolerate anyone stealing from us, whatever the
Cut
law
her
is.
hands off.
She tries to slip out of your grip again, Than. Make another athletics check. She may have a chance to get out of this one. Probably not. Yeah, maybe.
Got a cure for red hands.
All right, she
You
tries
can make
to
it
she tries to slip out of
your
your
hands
grip,
isn't
Than.
red anymore.
And yeah, you just hold onto her tightly, and Marsden says, "Careful now. You're not going to hurt her, are you?"
Nope, just making sure that she gets the message that I'm not to be pickpocketed. That's all. And I'll let her go.
Alright, she throws the few copper pieces that she took from you onto the ground and says, You watch where you go in the styes! She yells at you, and then she starts to run off and disappears into a crowd.
Alright, I'll hide behind my companions and start it again.
I mean, do we really need to worry with it now? We can just go in the boat and
Yeah.
get to where we're going.
But what if we capsize or some shit?
Well, then we will have red face, and then you can help us out later.
I don't know that we can walk on it. It's mostly chemicals and stuff, right? Can you do an Arcana check to...
Water walking is not just for water, but it doesn't work
Any
on something that
liquid.
has the consistency of mud. Mud's not a liquid, so yeah, it's not really gonna work. In some places it might work, but yeah, if you're worried about it capsizing, then I mean, it might help.
Crap, did I delete my token?
I think you did.
Yeah, you did. You disappeared.
Just assume he casted invisibility.
Thank you.
I guess it will probably work on this stuff. Yeah, it does. It says mud. It literally says it's not just liquid surface, mud as well. So it would work on this polluted slag that flows through the styes. Marsden just says, friend, why don't you cast your spells in the comfort of Frother's lamp? You're attracting a lot of attention here. These people, they're not used to seeing adventurers like you. Ned Kelly's organized a skiv and everything. We'll be there within 10 minutes.
Perfect. We'll be ready to go in 10 minutes.
So I'll try to do that, and then I'm also going to try to remove curse on Thomas to remove his blue face.
Okay.
Won't stand out quite so much. Thank you.
Alright, you're about 5 minutes into the ritual, Than, and a group of 7 guards and a captain come marching up. They all wear chainmail, they have spears, the captain wears splint, and he has a longsword brandished, shield in his hand. His armor looks quite shoddy. And again, it is attracting a lot of attention. The guards just like push people out of the way, and the captain walks up and he demands of you all, what's going on here? He's a very slender looking half-orc male. And
Bill, friend.
he's covered in mud.
We're new to town, but because of the lack of roads, we're just preparing ourselves to be able to walk on water in case of emergency. Nothing dangerous. Nothing menacing about what we're doing. Completely benign.
You look like out-of-towners.
We are.
Have you paid the tax?
Oh, we weren't aware of it. Is that something we can take care of with you?
It is. I was just coming to make sure that you'd paid the tax, so you don't find yourself on the inside of a watchtower. So, how many of
appreciate
there
that
are
very
you? 7 of you?
That's right.
Alright, that'll be 70 gold.
Gold. Just got the party loot.
I got it.
Okay. We should
Maybe 7
just
gold.
do that.
I can do it.
Alright, you hand him 70 gold.
And for that, I assume you'll look out for us as well, that we don't run afoul of.
Sure. We do our job.
So I've heard. Well, we appreciate it, and sorry for the oversight on the tax.
Alright, he takes the 70. Is it just 70 gold pieces? Or?
Honestly, we don't have any actual gold pieces. I can give him some gemstones, though.
Platinum? Do we have platinum? No?
We have platinum, but I can just give him some gemstones.
70 gold of gemstones?
Yeah.
He scoops them up and puts them in his coin pouch. and gives you guys a nod. And then they start laughing and they start to stroll away.
Captain, do we not get a receipt for that? I'm sure that it should be in writing, of course.
I'll tell the constable. Don't worry. I'll recognize you. You stand out like a pair of bulldog's balls.
So do you, friend. So we'll know who to look for when there's trouble.
Looks like we got the rest of the day off, boys. To the pub, they say, and they march off.
Well, next time I see him, he's getting punched in the face.
Going to the pub after we're done here.
Alright, and then you've got that spell off now. You haven't attracted any more of the residents of the Styes during this time. And Marsden, he's still waiting on you guys. Are we ready yet?
We sure are.
Marsden, quick question. The man that just came and took money from us, who was that?
Yeah, not sure. One of the guard captains. Or I think so. Could be one of the constables from the Harbour Master.
What's usually the toll tax for this city? For newcomers.
You got shilled, I'm afraid. There ain't no taxes here.
Well, it looks like that person is definitely getting a fist to the face next time we see him.
Oh, it's a shame that almost cleaned us out.
Oh, that's just too bad. All right, well, let's go.
Are you trying to like put on the facade that you don't have much gold, Thomas?
Yeah, exactly.
Make a deception check. Larson says, "Oh, I hope you've got a few coin left because you'll need it."
Yeah, I looked. Ren looks worried. He believes Thomas.
We're broke.
Yeah, well, we've got enough. We'll certainly, I think, got a gold for your crew to get us to the inn.
Norin is looking at Thomas very strangely because he's the one that keeps most of the gold, and he's like, I know we have a lot, but...
No. I've got one in my pocket, but yeah. Give it to him. So that way, I'll pay him, pull it out, and pull out my coin purse, and he'll... You see, I've got a few gold and some silver. And hand him a gold.
You give Marsden a gold?
Yeah.
Says, how did you know that was the price of the skiffs?
No, because I'm very smart and not gullible and don't overpay in any way on anything. Just smart that way.
My friend Loquid, he's a fisherman, but he's looking to make an extra coin or two, so he's rented me his skiff. Think of it as a water taxi. And as you guys look out to the different districts here, you see that all of the islands that support the buildings are artificial. Basically, they are built up remains of other edifices and garbage piled up to create these islands. There are huge boardwalks supported above the brackish water as well by these decaying pillars. And according to the map, the district is actually made up of 4 quarters. And it appears that they're connected by these like wooden walkways or a skiff. And you see Low Quarter, Alchemists Quarter, High Quarter, and Merchants Quarter. And Marsden just takes you just down to the end of the street, and there is a small skiff. It's just like it's a rickety looking dinghy basically. It's tied up to a rotten wooden part of the docks, tethered there, and he untethers it, makes sure that everyone's in, and then he just has a 10-foot pole, and he starts like just pushing you guys through all this squalor where you see these tall boardwalks and sunken buildings start to rise up around you. It creates like a key that moves through the different parts of the Styes, and it's slow going, and he seems to navigate you guys around quite well. And
Before we got in, I would have invited Nora. Hey, we're looking to find out what happened to your friend too. If you want us,
I was
with
going to
us.
say I didn't want to interrupt, but Nora, she says, I think our meeting here is serendipitous, and I don't trust the local authorities to bring the murder of my friend to justice, so if our purposes align as I think they do, I would like to offer my services to your group if you'll allow me to join you.
Sure, and welcome, friend. Very
let's-
formal. I like it.
Let's find out what's happened to your friend. Yeah.
Marsden overhears this as well, and he just says, he says, yes, looking for someone, are you?
Jarm what did Jarm do? What was his job? Nar?
I don't think we. Oh, no,
I believe he had some talent with alchemy, and he may also have been working as a dyer here. I'm not sure. The last I had seen him, he lived in Luskin. I had only heard from him here through correspondence, and not actually in person, but I'm pretty sure he would have been doing something with alchemy or dyes.
Jarm the dyer, do you know him? That's to Marston.
Marsden says, lots of dyers in this town, friend. They all live over in the Alchemists Quarter. Sounds like one of your friends is the victim of the Ghost Lantern murderer. That I've heard of. I hate to say this, but I think they've already caught the killer. Hung out the front of the council hall, as far as I can tell.
I'm sure it happened to be the closest person to them when they started looking.
You
Not
say they've got
really.
him where?
Out the front of the council hall. That's where they hang the criminals.
Ah.
You
What
might
time of
want
day is
to-
it?
It's midday-ish, high noon. Or if you're looking for information, you could try the district garrison. Anyway, we're here now, and he pulls up. It only takes it's like a 10-minute journey, and he just points up to this like what looks like a stone lighthouse, decommissioned stone lighthouse. It looks pretty decrepit. That's it there, Frother's lamp. Head in there and say that Marsden sent you, and you may get the master suite. I know the bartender there. His name's Barry Bob Billy. He'll look after you. And in the meantime, if you want to put in an order for any magic items that you want, I'll be happy to go and fetch them for you while you find your accommodations.
Very good. I think we'll need to make our accommodations and assess if we've got any money for enough gold for that sort of thing. Where can we find you?
We'll probably be pretty busy today. I'll find you. That
Okay.
guard member wasn't wrong. You do stand out like a pair of bulldog's bulls.
Look better now that I'm not blue, don't I?
Yeah, you're no longer a blue ball.
You don't look like blue bulls, at least.
Very witty, friend.
And be careful as well. I heard there's been another killing.
Oh, so they might not have actually got the killer then, huh?
After all.
I'm not sure if it happened before they got the killer or the new killing exposed the murderer. I don't really get involved with these things. It's more your cup of tea, isn't it, adventurers?
Who's the best people we should talk to about finding out about the murders?
I'm guessing the
town.
guard. Town
Oh,
guard.
God. The guard that took the toll?
You know any honest ones?
You'd best head to the city garrison. I try to not get really too much involved with them, to tell you the truth. Now, anyway, I've got to be going. Frother's lamp. Can't miss it. It's a big lighthouse there. Head up there and tell them Marston sent you. He'll look after you.
Great, thank you.
And he helps you guys with your bags and whatnot, and then he untethers the skiff, and you guys just march up this like very hilly, natural garbage island. There's this very rickety old stone road, which is basically some bricks and some wooden planks. And he takes off back through the Styes.
After he's out of earshot, I'll ask the guys, do you think we should not mention that Marston sent us in case it's some kind of setup?
Not mention what? Sorry, what?
He made a point of telling us a couple times to say that Marston sent us, but I'm thinking maybe we don't want to mention that.
Oh,
in case
keep
it's
it
set up.
low key. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm cool with being.
So we just act like locals. Got it.
Well, I don't think we're gonna pass as
Local.
locals, but yeah.
But not the ones that they're expecting to be set up, the suckers. Anyway, I don't know if it'd be effective.
It's worth a shot.
You guys walk up the road and you arrive at the Frother's Lamp. Decommissioned stone lighthouse. So this is the outer wall of the lighthouse. It is decrepit.
Jeez.
It is crumbling. There are holes in the walls. It looks like the filth of the Styes is basically encroaching up to it. There's no front door, and as you look in, there is a rickety bar set up, and apparently Barry Bob Billy is tending this bar.
Oh, Triple B.
You head in,
Bird?
and the ground is basically just like the foundation stones have sunken into the ground, and moss and vegetation has grown over the ground. So you're basically like, you're not even inside a building, really. There's so many holes in the walls. Barry Bob Billy looks up at you and says, "Stabbed! Stabbed! Caretaker stabbed!
You got stabbed?
Got stabbed!"
Oh, a shame. Do you have rooms?
He looks up at you, huh? I said he got stabbed.
I don't know what that means.
This guy looks like a male human in his late 40s. He's got ginger hair, and he looks like he's got a bit of this red face. He's quite burly. He's dressed in leather armor. And there's like a small shelf built into this wall. It looks like there's a fire that ran through this place. There's scorch marks everywhere. And this bar is basically the newest addition that you can see in this place. And it's just made of what looks like some gangplanks that have been fastened together with ropes and mismatched chairs, some of them missing legs. The caretaker, he got stabbed. So, it's mine now. You looking for rooms, you said? Who sent you?
No one. We just heard that you had rooms here.
Yep. Alright then, 7 of you then, is it?
That's right.
He walks with a bit of a limp. Alright. This way then. Heard 7 of yous was coming. You're not the one that Marsden and Ned Kelly said went this way, are you? I've been told to give you special treatment. I set up 7 beds for you. Oh, my leg. As you make your way through these walls, they are like, it used to be a lighthouse. They are quite tall. Some of them are 50, 60 feet tall and crumbling. Bits of stone all over the ground. And there's sections of the walls that are just straight up missing. And he takes you around to the side and... Here we go, he says.
This is the best accommodations in this town?
As they're going around, I wanted to look behind the bar real quick, see if there's any actual like alcohol or anything like that.
Yeah, there are a heap of bottles just stacked underneath the bar with
There's no patrons or
corks.
anything, huh?
No. And there's just like 7 filthy looking cots laid out on the ground, and this is clearly like a hole in the wall. And he says, ocean view!
We're not really staying here, are we?
No, I think we just start walking back out.
Oi! Hey! Oh, I see how it is then, you fancy pants. Alright then, I'll show you the master suite. This way.
It better be luxurious.
Come
I'm gonna
on.
laugh.
And he just
What do
Well,
you
last
think goes
night
for
I-
luxurious around here?
He moves through like a hole in the wall. Here it is! And it's just like over here. Here we go. It ain't got the view, but it's got the creature comforts.
You
One
mean
bed.
a bed.
So there's lots.
It's
So there's lots of creatures in that bed.
got pillows and sheets. And you're off the ground.
Oh, good. Now we know where you're at. We're gonna go explore the town and be back later.
You'll need to make your deposit.
No thanks.
Yeah, no, we pay when we settle in.
What's the matter? Hey, wait! Please. I beg you. I ain't got much, but I got this. I know it's nothing more than just a sad flotsam, and it's not up to your standards, but hell, if you can get over the arguments from the nearby taverns in the night, and the stabbings, she's not too bad. She grows on you. It's
How many
still got a
stabbings are
couple
we
of
talking about?
still got a couple of decades in her before she sinks into the seabed.
I'm sure something grows on you if you stay here.
How many stabbings per day are we talking?
2d6.
36 stabbings per day. It's quite a lot.
I guess that depends on how many victims there were. If it's just one victim, that's not a lot.
I mean, well, and if they die too, I guess.
Shop around and we'll come back.
You want to
Thanks.
leave your bags here?
No thanks.
No, but you know what? Before we go, we get a round of shots for everybody.
Aye. That'll be a silver. 1 shilling.
I'll give him a silver.
Okay. He takes it, and he takes this, looks like a homebrew, maybe a moonshine, and he pours up these shots for you in these dirty looking shot glasses.
Ugh.
I'll hold it up, and when he's not looking, I'll toss it over my shoulder.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
He drinks
I drank
one
it.
too. Ah! You
I just
shot it
imagine-
random. It's strong.
You go to toss it over your shoulder, and it just happens to like go right into like Norin's mouth.
See the grass that up lands on wilt away. All right, thanks, friend.
You casting purify food and drink on it, Roderick?
I'm not sure you have enough spell
Yeah,
levels
yeah.
for that to
I'm
succeed.
gonna cast that and yeah, definitely gonna drink it, but just make sure it's fine first.
Okay. Alright, you do that before everyone drinks it. And it smells very strong. It burns your nostrils. And when you purify it, Barry downs it and you get... Oh, this must be off. It tastes like shit. Ugh.
Woo-wee. All right, thanks, Barry.
That's just not the same.
See you later.
Alright. You guys exit the Frother's Lamp. And take a look at this map. If you ever want to look at the map, just let me know and we'll go over to it. So it appears that you guys are in the lower quarter, and this place basically looks like slum tenements, dubious taverns, rickety warehouses, hovel crowded alleys, and decommissioned ships that have been converted into buildings. And it looks like the entire place used to be a good few feet above the swamp level, or as they call it, the sea. And now it is, it looks like a lot of the old buildings are unlivable. New ones have been built atop them. There is a tangle of structures. Some of them are 4 or 5 stories deep in some places. And many of the lower structures are completely walled off from the outside. You feel like this could be the places where these hidden shrines could be. There are swaying rope bridges, providing the best avenues between the blocks of this quarter. And even the old boardwalks are sinking like everything else.
So maybe we should either look in the Merchants Quarter for something sensible, or something fancy in the High Quarter.
Or if we really want to, we do have the day. The rest of the day, we could go over to the Alchemists Quarter and start asking for John there.
There we
Maybe
go.
somebody, one of his peers, would know about it.
Piers, like the docks that are sticking out.
Well, colleagues, I guess is a better word for it. Norrin's just the setup man for Thomas's jokes.
Play the straight man for me. Appreciate it. Just start walking that way and
Just
try walking across the water.
let's freak people out by walking across the water. Yeah.
Just because, we don't want to stand out or anything.
Well, we got to make sure we're not going to run out. How long has it been? Because it lasts for an hour.
I mean, you've got about 30 minutes left on it. So heading down over this way.
I think we decided to head towards the Alchemist Quarter instead.
Alchemist Quarter. Okay.
Ask
Yeah,
him.
as you can see on the map, there are no bridges that get you over to the Alchemist Quarter. So you will need to walk on the mud, basically, or catch a skiff. It looks like all of the bridges have basically sunken into the mire.
We should run really fast. So if anyone questions us, we'll just do the whole. If you run really fast, it works.
I
You
haven't
do it
seen.
too if you run faster.
All right,
That's
so
going to be bad.
I love that.
which location are you heading to?
We'll try to get to
Just
here,
the
right?
Alchemist
And then we
Quarter in
can-
general, or a specific location?
First piece of land, so we don't run on the water everywhere.
Well, I mean, I guess we could head over here and head towards this workshop area.
Oh yeah,
That's
Where
not
from's
that's
workshop.
close.
Yeah.
These are locations of note, so you need to just ask people questions, visit people, and whatnot. All right, so you guys are walking along the muck and the mud, and it is absolutely horrible. The the filth that you're walking on is making everyone gag. And it covers your boots, and it splashes a little bit too. You guys move through, and there are more beggars. It's almost like a horde of zombies coming to the shoreline. As you guys move across, and you manage to lose them though. A lot of people have this red face, and I think everyone needs to make a Constitution save now.
Uh-oh.
Is it against disease?
It's for disease, yeah. And no one's like feeling any symptoms of anything.
It's
Oh,
2 weeks
Roderick
after the super spreader event before you.
Are Roderick and Dan still? They still have one being dead penalty, or
How many
Oh, that's just
did you guys
that's just
have
mean.
before? How many did you guys have in
I
Grand
took
Day?
one off.
We had 2 last session.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you have
and then
it's
we had
been
one
one
rest, so I
day,
took
so
one off.
you have disadvantage on ability checks. You have one level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect saves. So yeah, everyone's feeling fine. Nothing's happening. I'm just gonna give you this little skull icon, Ren, for no reason whatsoever. Just ignore it.
It's no big deal. Don't worry. You'll be fine.
Alright, as you guys are heading over and you've headed onto the Alchemist Quarter, you take a look around. So it's the northeast section of the Styes. And it looks like this is probably a district of scholastic and religious leadership, where there were once fine temples and universities. It looks like everything has kind of sunken down. You can tell because of the buildings. And they've been now converted into these dim, smoky factories, noxious laboratories, all owned by shady alchemists. As you guys know, there is no regulation to speak of in the Styes. Alchemists are free to conduct whatever dangerous experiments they like, and to cut corners on safety and quality control. You see iron chimneys belching smoke and foul vapors into the air. Liquid and solid waste are dumped into the water. People are just tipping out buckets of filth, and buildings have these colorful, befouled runoffs of different colored dyes, and there are these very shallow, sluggish channels snaking through the reeking expanse of mud, and you have to walk over many of them. Like this stuff is just spilling out from buildings all over the street, and you see some scavengers like actually wallowing through the filth, picking through mud, scrounging for anything of value that some of the alchemists may have carelessly tossed out in the trash. It's pretty disgusting. There are a few stone foundations of former straits, and there's a couple of markets set up. People just trying to, sell souvenirs and things like that. I got red face in the Styes shirt, and alright, as you guys are heading along, there's some commotion. There's some trouble. And a man is being attacked on the street. He is a slight bent figure. He wears simple grey clothing, and it looks like he's been hassled by a couple of urchins. "Help me! Get away!" he yells. "Get away!"
I try to kick one of the kids.
Nice.
Alright, so yeah, he has these he's kind of bent over. He has these spectacles, and yeah, they look like they're trying to rob him or something. This guy here.
So just yell out, "Hey!"
Hey, you kids, leave that man alone.
Hey.
They look up at you and they say, one of them says, "Piss off!"
Give him a fireball, Thomas.
No. I say, no, you. Hold on.
Alright. Yeah, we don't really need to roll initiative for these street urchins and whatnot. But they will make a wisdom save when you cast that spell. Okay, one of the urchins says. And what do you tell them to do? Just like leave?
Just flee.
Alright.
Yeah.
Immediately,
Die.
this urchin who's like die, who's like tugging at this guy's robes, trying to like pickpocket him or something. He just stops and he nods and says, "Okay." And the urchin kid starts to run off, and this adult urchin.
I did it at level 2 for two
Oh,
tokens.
both of them. They both just run off, and they run off about 60 feet, and then they kind of snap out of the charm, the enchantment, and then they look over at you all, and they say, "Let's get out of here!" And then they run off around the corner and disappear down a side alley into the sewer grates.
I bet we could have taken them.
I mean, we did. In a way.
Oh.
I help him up if he was on the ground.
Why? Thank you. Why, thank you. I was going
okay
to
there?
scare them off with a prestidigitation, but that worked as well. I'm just fine.
The toll is 70 gold.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. Do you work here in the quarter?
Yes. You're not from around here, I can tell. Otherwise you'd be familiar with me. My name is Master Ephraim. Everyone knows me here.
Oh, I've actually heard of you. You have a workshop nearby, I think.
Well, yes. You're not... you haven't been sent by Constable Jute, have you? To arrest me?
No. Why would he want to arrest you?
She... I've said too much, but... I mean... she looks like a god. I've done nothing wrong. Please don't hurt me. Points to Nara.
Oh, friend. Are there any inns in the Alchemist Quarter?
Oh, no. No inns here, friend. You said you had heard of me. Were you coming to my workshop?
We were. We've had a friend of Nara's here has apparently gone missing or killed some time ago.
Oh. Nara. Pleased to meet you, Master Ephraim. Yes, there have been many murders of late.
Well met.
Thank you. So formal. What was your friend's name? Perhaps I knew him.
Jarm.
His eyes widen, and he gasps. Charm! Oh dear. Sorry, I just... And he starts to, like, shed a tear. He takes off his weird-looking spectacles. He rubs his face. Oh, I'm terribly sorry for your loss. I'm afraid Jarm has been executed.
Executed?
Yes. Oh, I don't think it's safe to talk here. Perhaps you would like to come to my workshop where we can discuss this further. And he's like looking around, checking around corners and things like that. You also notice a very large congregation of guards have cordoned off a city block over here as well. And he's like particularly looking at them.
It sounds like a good idea. We'll follow you.
Oh, okay. Let's go. It's not too far through here. Just to annoy the shills and the urchins and whatnot. And Refron takes you expeditiously to his workshop, which is pretty much there.
Cool.
Okay, you guys head over to his workshop. It's not much. A very modest wooden brick building along the very edge of the Alchemists Quarters. And it's a very solid oak door that he has locked. He fumbles with his keys for a moment before finding them. And he opens the door and there's a set of stone steps leading down into like a basement. Yes, sir. This way. Takes you guys down. And he, when you're all in here, he checks the door twice to make sure it's locked. Right away, through here. You head down the stairs, you turn the corner, and you see a big workshop set up here. There are all sorts of things. There are big vats of water, Bunsen burners, beakers, potions, and all sorts of supplies. So you, firmly make sure that the door is locked.
How tall is the ceiling in here?
It's 10 feet.
Okay. Making sure there is plenty of room for the antlers.
There's enough room. I'm guessing you came here to buy potions. So I have potions available, both rare and uncommon variety.
What do you have?
Pretty much anything you can imagine. Is there something in particular that you're looking for?
A potion of cure disease would probably be okay.
No, I'm afraid that's not something that I'm able to create. Well, I guess I could make an elixir of health, but perhaps a potion of giant strength, or a potion of invulnerability, a potion of heroism, and mind reading, superior healing.
Oh, very nice.
Potion of heroin. I thought they said that they didn't have drugs here.
Heroinism? Awesome. What's the cost for a rare potion like that?
Oh, I only charge only a modest price. For the rare ones, it would be 500 gold pieces.
We get a discount? We did save your life. They were going to kill you.
I'm afraid I cannot drop the price any lower. That's as cheap as I can go. The ingredients and the time required, it's, well, extraordinary, really. And that doesn't take into account all the failed potions as well.
Sure. Well, in order to get an idea of what we might need, can you tell us, I mean, there seems to be something strange going on in this town. Where merchants and artisans are being threatened with and being executed, and murders at night.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course.
Why was Jarm executed?
Because he's the Ghost Lantern Killer.
What?
Nara says, that's impossible. Jarm was a peaceful man.
Yes, he was. He checks around again, and now he's like checking walls, and goes and checks the door is locked. He's looking around, he checks down this drain. So you think so too? Yes, okay. John Lovage. I attended his execution about a month ago. The memory, I'm afraid it still pains me. John spent much of his time alone, but he would often come to me for guidance. He looked up to me like a mentor. I've never had any children, but I always thought of him as a son. And because of his recluse lifestyle, he had no alibi for the murders. I've always known him to be a kind and honest man. I know his sister, Eleanor. The family is lovely. John, his arrest came after he was found looming over the body of a victim, bloody dagger clutched in his blood-stained hands. I'm afraid you can't really dispute that evidence, can you? He was hovering over the victim's body, murder weapon in hand, and
Maybe
lantern in the other.
Picked it up after it happened.
After he stabbed him?
I'm afraid
no, I'm
that's...
saying it's a frame job. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, what does his friend say? God, what's his name? Something starts with a D.
D?
Yeah, what's his name? What's
D?
his friend's name? I'm asking the master of this. I'm
D?
fishing. Looking for, yeah.
D? Oh, I'm not sure. He didn't have any friends. I believe that I was probably one of the only people that he would communicate to. I do know that he had a pen pal, but he'd even seldom visit me, only when he needed information about one of his latest alchemical experiments. Where did you get this information from?
Actually, it might have been his pen pal. It was someone down south.
I have a question for you, sir. We have gotten a map recently, and there is another place marked here in the Alchemist Quarter called the Dory's Warehouse. Who is this Dory person?
Oh, Mr. Dory. Oh, he's one of the council members. Alchemist as well. I get a lot of my supplies from him.
Right. Supplies.
I'm so sorry that you're all looking for answers, and I'm afraid the evidence is quite clear. As much as I don't believe that John would do this, he was clearly caught dagger in hand. But there's something that just angers me.
Is it the fact that there are 2d6 stabbings a day and only your friend Joram got killed for it?
Oh, well, the thing is, John was never properly put on trial. When I tried to meet him when he was taken to the Hopner Asylum, I was denied access by the militia. I decided I'd launch my own investigation into the Lantern Ghost killings. This killer had been on the prowl for 6 months, striking intermittently and leaving mutilated victims in public locations to be discovered at dawn. Can you believe this would go on for 6 months? How inept could the militia be in their efforts to track down the killer? The slayings, they've pushed the Styes into the brink of chaos. People are scared to go out day or night.
Of course they are.
Who is the mayor of this town?
There's no mayor. There are a number of council members. 4 of them. The Styes, although it's not very big, there are 12,000 residents here, packed into houses that you'd think only a quarter would fit into. And the 4 officials, the council, they make all the decisions. Mr. Dory,
and they can...
Rashlin, Celeris, and Thornwell.
And Cornwell?
Thornwell.
Cornwell.
Someone write that down, because I didn't.
Mr. Dory, Rashlin, Celeris, Thornwell.
What does Rashlin do? Is he also an alchemist?
Oh, Rashlin. He trains a militia. Poorly.
And Celeris? Selenis?
Celeris.
Yes.
To be quite frankly honest with you, I'm not even sure if Celeris lives in the Styes. I've never heard any input from her. She has never made any public appearances.
So, to make an alchemist joke, maybe she's just a pigment of your imagination.
Well, listen. There's more to this story.
Oh.
I was at Jarm's execution. He was held in the Hopner Asylum for a couple of days. I tried to speak to him, I was denied. And then he was dragged off to the gallows. I followed him from the asylum. He was professing to have no memory of the slayings. I saw him hang. I can still hear the sound of his neck snapping. It haunts me. I offered my abilities to cast the Speak with Dead spell to learn the truth, right? And the militia, they abruptly told me that the case was closed, threatened me with incarceration to the Hopner if I didn't leave the matter alone. But
That's very fishy.
it is, and get this. Just yesterday morning, there was another slaying after John was executed. Rumors
Only Frank.
was spreading through the Styes that a young fisher named Rafe turned up dead. The authorities, they shipped the body to the mortuary for cremation immediately, as if they were trying to cover up the event. And anyone who asks about it, they are told to make no further inquiries, or they'll be sent to the Hopner.
The militia, or
Yes,
certain?
the militia.
And who controls the militia out of all the council members?
That was Rashlin, right?
No, yes, Rashlin and Constable Jute. She is the one in charge.
Well, what?
Constable Jute. She's in charge of all of the guards.
Jute?
Jute.
Constable
yes,
Jude.
with a J.
I wonder which guard was the one that took the toll from us. Can we describe him? Would he know if we described him?
All right, you want to describe the half-orc? He thinks on it for a bit. There are quite a few constables in this town, at least 10 of them, plus 200 guards. I couldn't tell you one from another, to be honest, but there's only one commander, and that's Jute. I'm sure you've seen their patrols. They always go about in large numbers.
Oh, and what does Thornwell do?
Thornwell?
Councilman.
Forgive me, I'm not very much into politics, but I think she is a mage of some type. She looks after she makes the laws for what we're allowed to experiment with here in the Styes in terms of alchemy.
Well, from the looks of things, there aren't any laws. You can experiment with just about anything around here, right?
Yes, it's truly a blessing in disguise to have such freedom.
So do any of the council members seem to be fair people, or are they all more shady type?
He looks around again. Don't say this in public. You never know who's listening, but I believe that they're corrupt.
Corrupt politicians? Holy crap.
I know, right? Who would have thought?
And can you think of anyone else that'd be better suited to be in a leadership role for this town?
I'm not sure. Things have gone to shit here in the Styes.
Just as we were walking across the quote-unquote water.
So, how did you all know John?
We were sent to make contact with him by a friend of his, and runs a casino down south.
You're looking for a friend of his?
Yeah.
Of John's?
Yes.
Oh, as I said, John had no friends. There's
Anybody else
something that
anything?
does not seem to add up here, though.
We actually, out of character, we think he was involved in the shadiness with this D person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow involved.
Yeah, we actually were concerned because we think Jar may have gotten himself into a little bit of trouble with the wrong sorts of folks.
I know John. He'd never hurt anyone. I believe that he was charmed into committing these murders, or someone used magic to influence his mind. But I could never speak to him.
Yeah, that sounds likely.
It sounds like
Nara.
That tracks.
Oh, yes?
Nara says, I've known him many years, and I agree with that. I don't think he's the kind of person that would have done anything of his own free will.
Yes. So you know him? Oh, Purple Dragon Knight. You're his pen pal from Coromir. He spoke fondly of you. On occasion.
Indeed, yes, I am.
I have a suggestion. Perhaps you could go to the asylum and perhaps speak to someone who was in contact with John in his last few days alive. Perhaps he may have told something to someone there. Anything. Some information.
Yes, that seems like good advice.
Or you could, I dare say, try the district garrison. I'm not sure if you had much of a run-in with the guards here.
Not good one so far, so.
Yeah, both encounters I've had with the local authorities have been unpleasant.
Is there anyone in particular we should seek out at the asylum?
Pardon me, but I've no reason to ever have been there. It's a place where they keep people before they're executed, or it's also for the clinically insane. It used to be an old prison. I guess it still is a prison.
Is there a lot of people in the asylum in this town?
I don't think people stay there for long, if you know what I mean. Most people, they go straight from the asylum and to the mortuary. Now, I do not feel safe in the Styes anymore. And I think my meeting with you could have all just as well condoned me now. I actually plan to leave the Styes. I might spend a few weeks in hiding. I heard Yartar's nice this time of year. I heard there's a lovely riverboat
Beware of that
casino.
town.
I might take a little vacation.
Oh, go to the beach.
Out of the frying pan into the fire, my friend. But good luck to you.
Before we
Let's just Mirabar instead.
Before we part ways, I'd like to buy a couple potions, and if anybody asks you why we were here, you can just tell them that we came looking to buy from you.
Of course. I'll sell you my wares. These sales will definitely help fund my expedition. And I'll give you a list of the potions that he sells.
Man, do you know of any place decent to stay around here? We were directed to one shithole that was crumbled lighthouse.
He just shakes his head. I'm afraid one's as good as another. I've heard that there's 2d6 stabbings a night.
So there's no decent inn? That's a little concerning.
I wonder what
You're
would
welcome
happen
to
if we had-
stay here if you're planning to look further into Charms and unrightful conviction.
Well, we'd greatly appreciate that.
Just don't touch anything. If you knock the wrong vial, just the slightest bit of air getting into one of the vials could cause a massive chain reaction explosion.
Norin slowly pulls his hand back from one of the beakers he was about to touch.
You may want to take those antlers off as well. Just
Alright.
He takes some chalk and he draws a line along the ground. Do not cross that line.
Yeah. Norin will take his helm off and like clip it to his belt.
That's even worse. Knocking shit over
Turn
everywhere.
around and it's
Swinging it on your
swinging
head.
wide.
Accidentally poke somebody with it. Oh, sorry, I'm used to those being on my head. By the way, I'm a furbog, Nora. So that's what you see when I take the helmet off.
Gotcha. Yeah, I read everybody's backstories and stuff.
Cool.
Anyone interested in any potions? 500 gold pieces. Probably won't get a better deal anywhere.
I am. Are there any limits on it, like one per?
He has 1 to 4. 1d4 of each potion, so depending on what you want, we'll see how many he's got in stock.
I'd like to buy at least 1 and possibly 2 potions of invulnerability.
He has 1 potion of invulnerability for sale for 500 GP.
Alright, I'll buy 1 of those and 1 superior healing potion then, if that's okay.
Superior healing, he has 4 in stock.
Do we want to buy from the actual like party loot funds as well? Like we can get more.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I don't know how much money you have, Nora, but
I think narratively speaking, it would make sense that Nara buys her own stuff at the moment.
right.
And yeah, she's Nara has gold.
Well, I figured she had gold. I didn't know how much she had.
Let's grab the other 3 superior healing potions.
So 1,500 gold for that. Potion of heroism is actually really good too.
Okay,
So I'll
grab
take
that.
one of those.
Grab that.
So an even 2,000 from the party loot.
Okay, so add 1 potion of invulnerability, 1 potion superior healing to your inventory, Nara. And so you're buying the other 3 potions of superior healing.
Yeah.
And how do you guys want to distribute those?
I'd say one for Than, because Than can move really quickly to wherever.
I'll
wherever
take
he needs
one.
it. One for Rind.
I've actually got a potion of superior already still.
Oh, okay. Then either Thomas or Lily, and maybe one for myself.
Probably Lily, since she likes to stay at the front lines.
Lily says Thomas.
Thomas always stays back.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's got one.
Okay, so one for Thomas, and then I'll grab the last one. So
Take-
if I need to, I can action surge, run in, give to somebody.
Okay. And there's only 1 potion of heroism available. So who wants to take that one?
Give that one to Norin.
I was about to say, if nobody has any objections, Norn would take that one.
That's fine.
He also has basic healing potions in large quantity, and he also has these potions that are readily available in like most towns and cities. I'll show you guys the handout for that too. There. He has those potions as well.
How much are potions of healing? Like the regular ones are 50 gold a pop.
50 gold.
Yeah.
So you need to buy him out of all the potions of animal friendship.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Anyone want to buy any more potions? He also has like other things like antitoxin, alchemist fire, basic alchemy supplies as well.
I probably need the antitoxin, but I don't say that.
Fine, Ren, just ignore that skull.
Antitoxin's pretty cheap, and it'd probably be a good idea with all this crap around here. That's
How much is the antitoxin?
Isn't that for poison?
50 gold pieces. Yeah, it's for poison, not disease.
It's still probably not a bad idea for everybody to have one.
except Roderick.
Right, Roderick would need one.
Everybody should have healing potions as well. I'd say at least 2.
Okay, so 300 gold for 6. 300 gold for 6 antitoxins, and then we're doing 2 for everybody, so it's another 700, so another 1,000 gold for 2 healing potions apiece and 6 antitoxins.
Alright, add those to your inventory.
What size was those healing potions?
Just regular
Yeah,
potions.
these basic ones.
What is it called? Antitoxin potion?
Yeah, gives you an advantage on poison saving throws.
Yeah. Refram
Oh, yeah, I've actually
hands
already got
Nara the key to the
advantage on
workshop as well.
poison, being a dwarf. So
Actually, yeah, I got the belt of Dwarven kind on, so I got advantage for poison as well.
So
Oh.
we can take out 50 of that then.
He hands Nara the key and says, I know that we've only just met, but you've come recommended by Jom. So I know I can trust you. I know that you won't rob all of my potions while I'm gone, so...
And Nara responds with, if you don't feel safe still in Yartar, make way to Cormyr and go to one of the garrisons and tell them that I sent you and they will keep you safe.
Just don't go seeking refuge in Nightstone.
What a wide world. Thank you. Thank you for that offer. You're most kind. Please find out what happened to John. Do you have any way to disguise me on my way out?
I can paint a mustache on you.
You could give him that red face disease.
I get out my disguise kit. And I
Punch
go
you
to
in the
work.
face so your eyes are all swollen.
Oh, I meant like
Just pepper
magically.
spray.
My work is like magic, my friend.
What sort of disguise will you give me?
You are patient 0. Let's go.
Oh, perhaps.
What disguise would you like? Would you like to have the red disease?
I've always wanted to look like a pirate.
Done. I make him look exactly like the pirate that we were on the ship with his loincloth.
Nice.
In just the loincloth?
Yes. And a hat. I have it's burned into my memory, so
How do I look? Make
horrible. It's perfect.
make a check with your disguise kit then, intelligence based.
okay. And beautiful.
Is the is this thong supposed to be on back to front like this?
Yes, in fact.
Oh,
Pirate thing.
okay.
That's if you get scared. If you get scared, you got a little room back there, you know what I mean?
Norn is averting his eyes.
Uh.
Just like, oh god.
You look magnificent.
Arr.
Patient zero, off you go.
Arr, mateys, he says.
You'll either attract all the attention or none of it.
Just make sure you've got a current Last Will and Testament on file somewhere.
They'll be scared of you. You're fine.
It looks very shoddy, but hopefully, unless he's scrutinized, no one will be able to tell. Take ship.
And we know a ship that you can take.
He'll leave the Styes, just like that.
Well, I'm glad we didn't stay at that lighthouse. It's turned out better than we could have hoped.
Alright.
For lodging, anyway. Still.
Wait, he left? He's leaving the town without taking his belongings, his potions?
Yeah, he
I missed.
doesn't have a way to
missed
take
it.
him.
He trusts Nara. Just the rest of us can steal it, though.
He gave
Yeah, for
Nara,
us to look after it for him.
gave
Yeah,
Nara
good
the
luck,
key.
guys. Good luck, guys. I'm retiring and starting a career as an
Oh, I
alchemist.
see.
I
It
mean,
was a
I was
short,
considering doing that as well,
a
but
short campaign for you, though. I see.
can
Just
be
a one shot, if you will.
It'll be one shot of the potion as well. First
Yeah.
one's probably going to kill you.
He feels like, yeah, by convening with you guys in private, drawn too much attention to himself now, and he said that he's going to leave the Styes to spend a few weeks in hiding for his own safety.
Okay, so are we supposed to lock this place down for him? Is that
Yep.
Yeah,
Let me leave.
gave Nara the key.
Stay here rent free.
You got a free place to stay.
Yeah, it's nicer than that inn or whatever that place was.
Yes,
It even has walls.
Bonus.
It's like a bunker.
Hey, that guy.
I want to know what he uses this for right here.
We can shove bodies down that.
That's the noose he made for Garb.
That's his dungeon.
His
I'm
dungeon
more
kit.
worried about things coming up from the great, but
He's a dungeon master as well.
Yeah, I would though actually be a little concerned because as nervous as he was, we may have been seen coming in here, and unless I'm misunderstanding the map, there's only one way in and out.
There it is.
No problem. Pirate number 2 coming up.
I can turn myself into a pirate as well.
I'll bring you guys back onto the map of the Styes now. You know what the workshop looks like. Refron
Alright,
is gone.
I'll make sure to lock it up as we leave.
I'll refresh our water walking while we're in the dungeon there.
so I'm almost
The dungeon.
I'm almost convinced
Yeah.
now that the D that is referenced in the letter from the captain of the ship is Councilman Dory. He's got a warehouse here. The guy talked about having some shipments coming up the Desserin, so having somewhere to put those shipments, that, and there seems to be some sort of conspiracy here going on, like in the higher ups. So
Yeah, so what do we want to do? So, spy out his warehouse?
it might be worthwhile to go ahead and go to the asylum and talk to. We'll see what people there know. Before we start really sneaking around.
Sounds like people that ask questions get executed.
True.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can try it on us, but good luck.
I would rather not have to kill a whole garrison of guards.
That's
Not
fair.
good for them.
I bet
Come on,
eventually they would.
Come
they would
on,
stop
Norn.
us.
Where's your sense of
Where's your sense of
cosplay here?
adventure?
But really, this is like.
You'd rather just take over the town and become the new rulers?
I think we should just abolish this town and send it back to nature.
Sinking
Yeah.
below the waves like Atlantis.
Send it to the depths.
I'm sure there's some decent folk here.
Just take all the Alchemist fire and start throwing it around everywhere.
I'm sure there are decent people here, but
But that's
Yeah,
the price you're willing to pay.
Oh no,
one.
they can leave.
All right. In all seriousness, so what's your next move to try and solve this murder mystery?
I feel like we need to go to the High Quarter for some reason. It's just calling me.
Yeah, so in the asylum's in the High Quarter, so we might as well swing by there and see what's going on.
Try to talk to some of the people. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe go to the mortuary and see what's going on with the new body that was found.
Well, we want to find out what was being shipped up here and why, right?
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'll probably be useful to find out.
Is the warehouse too obvious a choice for that?
The warehouse might be. It might be better to wait until nightfall.
Yeah.
Because if there is any nefarious dealings going on there, then that's when it will be done.
Alright, so guys want to head to the High Quarter and inquire at the Hopener Asylum?
It seems kind of sketchy to me. Going, and what are we going to ask at the asylum? Hey, what do you, all you crazy people know anything about?
Well, we find out if and why and how long Garb was admitted and just that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Refrom suggested seeing if anyone there spoke to Jom in his final days and if Jom told them anything.
There you go.
Like dreams of water and tentacles.
Yeah. Or if the useful information to get from him would be which leaders or which people he had contact with, so we know who's in on the scheme.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We can always swing by, kind of go a little out of our way to the warehouse, on the way to wherever we're going, just to check it out.
Dory's warehouse?
Yeah, I mean, just casually stroll by it, kind of.
It's on the way.
Check the place out as we go by.
Okay, so checking out Dory's warehouse and heading to the asylum.
Nara kind of keeps an eye out as we're traveling from place to place to see if she notices anybody following us.
Make a perception check, Nara.
Norn kind of stands out, unfortunately.
Everyone stands out because of your armor and things like that. You actually kind of blend in a bit, Norin, for the first time ever. Alright, as you guys are walking through this district, Nara, you're keeping an eye out, and you feel like you are being followed by a group of about 10 people. They're not guards, though.
Kill them all.
Yeah, they've followed you through the Alchemists Quarter, and you're almost at Mr. Dory's warehouse, and this same group, large group of people, they're still behind you. You are mostly female, and they seem to be led by two human males. One of them wears a pirate's hat, and he looks to be in his late 50s. Has a white goatee. A younger man is with him who wears a green cowl over his shoulders, and they're all armed. A large group.
Can I turn to them and ask them why they're following us in Thieves' Cant?
Alright, they are trailing you by a good couple of 100 feet.
Yell at them.
Yeah, they're about.
No.
They're not immediately behind you, but turn around.
So they don't.
They're on
so
the end
don't
of the next street. What do you?
They don't reply. What
you
you're
can
saying?
give them a thieves' cant. It might be a bit hard to see from a couple 100 feet away. Cause it's just
I'll do it like YMCA style, really big.
Just go around the corner and wait for them.
What are you trying to say? You can thieves' cant can also be messages like you leave a little bit of chalk on the ground or something like that. What are you trying to relay?
I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
I don't know. It's
Try to lose them?
well, I think it will be hard to lose anybody here, mostly because we stand out so badly.
How about we
Yeah,
sprint
it's
across the
fine.
water? Ha!
We can't.
Or we
Ha!
could just let them follow.
We just confront them.
It looks
We
like
don't
we
like
can
their
beat them.
answers.
Yeah, go around the corner, wait for them to catch up.
Okay, let's do that.
Alright, you guys continue on your way and just go around a corner, like into an alley. As you turn back, you notice that half of them are gone. There were 10 of them, now there's only 5.
Cool.
And
We've already taken out half of them? Wow.
Damn,
I'm
we're
gonna
good.
keep my eyes peeled for any approaching flanking behind.
As you come around the corner, you see down the end of the alleyway that you're down. You see 5 of them start to approach you guys.
Ah, the old
Hell,
get
friend.
from both sides technique. Hell, friends.
Oh god.
Hey, what's going on here? One of them says, and we'll take a 10-minute
Ugh.
break.
Okay.
Don't
What's
think I like the
going
way
on
she's Oh god.
Alright, I'll see you guys back shortly. Get ready for trouble. Get ready for some trouble!
We always find trouble.
How's everyone doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Is everyone back? Hello? We're still waiting on people.
Hello.
Rend is back.
Okay. So, you guys are moving through the Alchemist Quarter, and you realize that you've been followed by a group of 10 people, mostly women, with a couple of fellows leading them. You've made your way through these decrepit streets, and not quite at Mr. Dory's warehouse, and you've just ducked around the corner, and as you've ducked into this like alleyway here, 5 of these people, they come around the corner. This is the younger fellow with the green cowl. He has 2 long swords in his hands. And then this is the old pirate looking dude who's coming up behind you. And this guy, he steps up and says, "What do we got here?" And his voice seems very strange for his appearance.
Hail, friend.
That line will never get old.
What's going on?
How can we help you, ma'am?
What did you say to me?
I said, how can we help you, ma'am?
Those are some big swords for a woman to be carrying around, huh?
What do you got against women?
Oh, not a thing.
I happen to like women.
Maybe I can help you. You're making fun of my voice.
Nope.
The reason why I speak with this is because I got stabbed in the neck.
Ah,
I hear that's pretty common.
So not
bad
good
story.
to- You're one of the 2d6 then, huh? No, too bad.
I got stabbed in the neck 2d6 times.
Oh shit.
Actually, I was just admiring your fine troop here. And as this is happening, these other 5 have come up behind you. We're wondering if we could help you.
Well, and how could you help us?
Maybe they can help each other.
Name's Dingo Musk. And that there is Buffalo Bill. And think of us as employment opportunists. Are you looking for jobs? Oh yeah?
Not necessarily, no. We are not.
But I was interested in hearing about opportunities.
Well, we got a new opening, you see. You, miss. Points to Nara. Do you like semen?
You don't have to answer that.
It's very rude, actually.
Nara jokingly says, "I prefer foot soldiers."
Nice.
Well, you see, there's a new opening aboard one of our ships. And we're looking to fill that opening. There's plenty of semen to go around. Buffalo Bill says, good one.
Do
I
the
could
women
fill
that-
several of your party's openings.
Did Are the women that are standing behind them, are they like rolling their eyes at this point, just like, oh god?
They
Kinda
chuckle and
attitude, or
they smile at you with the 1 or 2 teeth that they have
between them?
between them. No, they're going along with it. They think Django is absolutely hilarious. Everyone thinks that Django is hilarious.
Are the women armed?
Yeah, the women have clubs in their hands, blackjacks. Every single one of these people have their weapons brandished as well. The women all have blackjacks. They're just wearing leather armor. Buffalo Bill, he has a cutlass in one hand and a short sword in the other, and many crossbows loaded along his waist in a leather strap. It looks like a dwarf pirate, no peg leg though. And Django seems to be wearing studded leather armor, concealed under like regular clothing, and he does have these 2 long swords in his hand.
Neither look like the pirate that just left the Alchemist Workshop.
No, and Django starts to swing around. None of them look like that pirate. He starts to swing around his long swords, flicking them around in his hand, and seems to know how to use them. He had some pretty good handiwork with his swords there. So, which one of you looking for a job?
I don't think any of us are looking for a job on the sea. We only navigate ships of the air.
Oh, well, I'm offering you an opportunity here. I only need one of you. So who's it gonna be then?
Why only one? Why not all?
You hear what he's asking?
Perhaps you can pay the toll and just be on your way.
Oh no, we're gonna need a new deckhand. The ship's undercrewed. So, just come quietly then.
We're gonna need more than one after we're done here.
We can take the ship off your hands.
Nope, I've already checked. We only need one. Not sure what you're saying. Why would need more than one?
Oh, because I think some of you are about to die.
Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time swinging those swords around when my 2 big friends here, and I motion to Norin and Rend, pull your arms off.
I don't know where you think you're from, Purple Lady. This ain't Watertown, or wherever you come from. This is the Styes. No guards are gonna come to your aid when we cut your throats. Get him! He screams and they rush you guys.
Since I have no guards, it's better for us.
Alright, they
Man.
Somebody call an ambulance!
they yell out
But
and
not
rush
for
you
me.
guys. Alright, 5 foot squares. And these are just all like businesses and warehouses around here. Mainly warehouses. Rend, you're up first.
Alright,
God damn it, Norin.
I draw the sword. I'll go ahead and enrage. A bonus action, rage.
Still imagine that's very intimidating.
And run up here.
Show me
All
what
right.
you got.
And I'm gonna go ahead and
Again.
I'm a reckless and go ahead and try a great weapon master on this guy.
Okay. He uses his reaction to parry a 19. He crosses both of his long swords and this blue glow runs up and down the blade of both long swords. And yeah, he's surprisingly good with those swords and very quick too. He blocks a 19.
Interesting.
Right, one more time.
Get him, Musk! They say, and he ducks underneath your axe swing and like kicks you a little bit, Rand, and starts to skirt around you. Where did you learn to swing an axe? Barbarian school?
This one's a sword, but you
It's
know.
not even an axe, you idiot.
Yeah. Not worth the act.
Lily.
I'll use a bonus action to start singing. Come up next to Rend, and I'll see if I have any better luck.
11 is a miss. And 10 is a
No,
miss.
I don't.
He spins around and... Yeah, he's really good with his sword. He managed to parry you at the same time as well. He kind of dances to the side.
Just testing those defenses is all.
My turn!
Sword.
And he comes in quick with his longsword. First attack at Rend. And a 30. He hits for 10 slashing
Holy cow.
damage. He skirts
man.
Use that sword.
through Lily,
We're taking his weapons.
and he makes another attack on Lily. Second attack on Lily. And that hits.
I will shield.
You shield, and the longsword bounces off your shield. He chuckles a little bit, and he skirts around Rend like this. And then he's going to make another attack at Rend, third attack. And that hits for 11 slashing damage. And then he's going to break away from Rend and just charge Thomas, provoking from Rend. Swing and a miss. And with a bonus action, he makes a fourth attack on Thomas. And he trips up, a bit of mud splashes in his face.
Oh, watch out! You can get that disease from doing that.
Can't get what you already have. Alright, meanwhile, this thug just runs up to Lily and starts trying to hit her with blackjack. And it's a miss. Another attack. It's a miss. Another thug runs up and comes in behind Nara and attacks. First attack. It's a miss. You swing around Nara and just deflect the club with your shield. Comes in again trying to hit you in the side and trips up. Completely misses. Roderick.
I forget with the range attacks. Is it if there's someone within 5 feet, or if my target's
Yeah.
within 5?
If you've got someone within 5 feet, they're getting in your face and giving you disadvantage.
Yeah. And if I go around the corner, I will be blocked off. I'll just shillelagh then and beat the crap out of this thug.
Okay, Wall will give half cover, but they're very lightly armored. They just wear leather armor.
Sure.
Hit, and you just hear a
Right,
loud
so-
crack. You wind her for 11 damage.
I think. Yeah, I didn't have my magic bonus on there anyway. My staff. So 11, and again.
That's another hit. You smack her in the face, and she's bloodied.
Then with my dread ambusher. Third one.
That's another hit. You hit her straight in the leg. She cries out in agony.
And I might use it. Oh, action surge. Go again.
That's another hit, and you smack her over the face again. She's staggering around, almost dropping to the ground.
And again.
And she hits the ground dead.
Then I'll step up to here and ambush this guy. And I think a swing.
21. He'll use his reaction and he'll parry you, adding to his AC
Alright.
to block the incoming attack.
Yeah, so when he does that, I wouldn't be able to use my precision attack after that. Sure, because it's like after the effects of the attack.
Yeah, that would be like an effect of the attack, him parrying you like that.
Yeah.
Alright, this thug runs in at you, Roderick, and using pack tactics, she has advantage. She tries to bludgeon you. And says, you're in trouble. Django's fresh, and that's when he's at his best. And misses you with both attacks. Another thug runs in.
20. If they got advantage.
Oh yeah, 23. Sorry, hits you for 5 bludgeoning. Another one runs in and comes pushing up to Norin and attacks with pack tactics. And clubs you for 5 bludgeoning. May want to put your armor back on as well, Norin. It's still at 10 AC. And
well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if we never went back to Yartor.
you would have collected all your stuff for sure.
Okay.
Did you? Oh yeah, the Harpers could have delivered that. I probably should have mentioned that.
Oh yeah, no, Griffins should be somewhere as well then.
Yeah, the Harpers would have had the Griffin. Griffin's well trained. They would have dropped that off to you guys. You can presume you've got all your equipment.
Okay.
And hits you again for 6 bludgeoning damage.
What's the point of having an high AC if you get hit every damn time?
Alright, this thug runs in and tries to hit Lily with advantage. Misses, just bounces straight off your shield, and you seem like way too hard a target to attack, so she's going to come in at Rend instead. And that's a miss. The thugs just keep on piling in, surrounding everyone, trying to bludgeon everyone. This is on Rend. That hits for 2 bludgeoning damage. And it's a crit for 4 bludgeoning damage. Smacks you over the face as hard as she can, smiles at you, and then realizes you barely felt it. Looks a little bit worried. Thomas.
Alright, I'm gonna
Turn yourself into a pot.
see. Yeah, quite possibly. Let's see what the new gal can do. I'm gonna twin Greater Invis on me and Nara.
Alrighty, invisibility. You have advantage on your attacks. Creatures have disadvantage to attack you, and if you want to hide, you'd be heavily obscured.
And yeah, then I'm gonna move back a bit. Maintain that concentration.
Thugs keep on piling in, and this one starts trying to whack Rend off with the club. Miss.
Well,
And miss.
Speaking of Stephen,
this fight turned weird.
I do not resist.
This one just pushes in at Norin, and yeah, they're just trying to like beat you guys up. She hits you for 7 bludgeoning damage.
Jesus.
Norin.
I mean, and they would actually have advantage, disadvantage, just because I have the Gavel of the Vin rune,
Okay.
which is a perfect thing for Norn actually, because he goes last almost every initiative. But still,
Alright, yeah, the other one's like getting in your face, and they're just coming in rushing you, so little opportunity to really defend against so many attacks. And then Buffalo Bill, he has like a cutlass and short sword, 2-weapon fighter. He's going to it's effectively a longsword, but cutlass for flavor. He's going to come in and just surround everyone, and he's going to slash at Norin. And he had disadvantage, all right?
yeah,
On every on the first turn, so that misses you.
yeah, until my turn.
He doesn't have pack tactics, and then swings at Roderick. Sorry, and that hits you for 4 slashing, and then tries to stab Norin. And hits for 5 piercing. Nara.
If I'm invisible and I move out of their reach, does that provoke still?
No, not unless they can see you.
Which they probably.
I'm gonna move here and attack the dude with the 2 swords.
That's a hit. You slash into him and he tries to defend himself against this unseen attacker and you just nick him slightly.
And then my second attack.
That's another hit. You start to break into his defenses. He's having trouble keeping up these
And my
attacks.
third.
And that's another hit. You slash into him again. Some small
And
injuries.
then I'm gonna action surge and attack again.
That's another hit.
And again.
21 is a hit.
And then with my third attack, I'd like to shove him and try to knock him prone.
Okay. Give us an athletics check. And he's quite strong. You wrestle a little bit, and then you just kick his leg out. He slips on some filth, splashes onto the ground prone.
And that is my turn.
It was quite a turn.
He says. And well, when your turn's done, click your token, look up the top left corner of your screen. You'll see a macro called End of Turn. Hit that and it'll scroll it along. That's the one.
Gotcha.
Than.
I will. Oops. What the hell? Weird. I will. I'll cast Bless, and I will put Bless on Norin, Ren, and Lily.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, son.
And bonus action, I will put the help action on.
He's prone. Do it on him.
No, I'll pass. I'll do this one here.
So you know, Josh, we try to find a way to waste that.
Don't corrupt the new. Please. Let it happen naturally. It's more fun that way.
No.
Well, hold on. I still have the trident set up for 2-hand damage. Let me change that real quick. Okay. I'll hear Than calling out the weakness of the woman behind me, and I'll turn and I'll take a stab at her.
That's a hit. Didn't even need the advantage. Straight up, just hit her. And it just cuts through her leather
Fancy
slightly on her side.
Alright. And I'll put my unwavering mark on her. Then I'll turn and slash at this guy.
That hits. And you slice him across the arm with one of the points of the trident.
I'll put my unwavering mark upon him. Then I will stab down at the guy on the ground. Hi, boys.
That's a hit.
Already singing soprano.
Oh, now I'm mad! As just small cuts and bruises so far on Django.
And I'll put my mark on him as well. I'm gonna bonus action second wind. I'll kind of take a deep breath. Now that that's out of the way, action surge, and I'm gonna take 3 attacks against the guy on the ground.
Okay.
I don't like him.
That's a hit. And we keep on getting through his defenses. Another small slash. That's a hit. Another slash.
And 3.
That's a hit. and you put another cut. This one narrowly misses his neck, and he's not bloodied yet, but he's looking like he's getting worn out now.
Alright, and that is my turn.
He's incredibly tough. Rend.
All right. My bonus action, I'll go ahead and ignite the flame tongue. And then, let's see, this one to my east there. I'll go ahead and reckless attack her.
Crit.
Oh.
35 damage. Alright, you just slap her along the side of the face with the flat end of the sword, and
Branded.
yeah, just big explosion of fire almost knocks her off her feet.
She's still standing. All right, do it. Hit her again then.
That's a hit. And are you guys just like cleaving these people up or knocking them out?
I'm killing.
Alright, you just slice her in two.
And
Maybe
I
I'll
use
go
my
across.
bonus that time. So all right.
Lily.
Okay, so shield comes down. And let's see, I think. Come up here.
Alright, you're gonna have 2 opportunity attacks. They both try to hit you with their blackjacks at advantage. And they both miss.
Alright, I'm gonna cast a Shadow Blade. And then I'm gonna attack this guy.
$17 is a miss. He blocks your shadow blade with his long sword.
No.
And an 18 is also a miss.
Wow, okay.
He takes both
going
his
well
long
for me.
swords, crosses them, and he almost got him.
Shove through this invisible person here. I think that's all I can do.
Alright, he's gonna get to his feet. And he's gonna use his bonus action to second wind. He's going to just throw one of his long swords onto the ground carelessly. And he's gonna take one long sword in both hands now. And he's gonna come in at Norin with his first attack. And he misses. And then he'll try to hit Roderick. And he has disadvantage on this, right? From the mark?
Yes.
He swings
he has
at Roderick. And he stumbles around and looks up at you, Norin. And he just
Come on
says,
then.
"Oh, you cheapie! What sort of magic are you using on me?
No magic.
Well, I can use you aboard the ship, but I think I'll keep you as bait." Ah! And he tries to attack you with his third attack, Norin.
Okay. I'm in a warding maneuver.
Alright, you cause the
I still
blade
get
to
hit.
kind of glance upwards, and he hits you for 12 slashing with your resistance. He says, and then it's his turn there. Alright, despite you just cutting down that other thug Rend, they're just jumping on you and trying to attack you with their numbers. Miss. And a hit for 3 damage. Roderick.
I'm gonna Hunter's Mark this guy, just because he's a pain. I think. And then swing at him.
That's a hit. He will use his reaction to parry, as he can.
Yep.
He'll parry a 20.
And I'll go again.
for 12 is going to miss.
Yep. That's all for now.
This thug starts attacking Norin with her blackjack. She hits for 5 bludgeoning. And she misses with second attack. This one's going to attack Norin as well. First attack hits for 7 bludgeoning. Second attack is a crit for 13 as they're just surrounding you, grabbing you, pushing into you. There's attacks coming from every angle. You just feel a blackjack thud into you. This one is going to attack Ren. Same thing's happened to you, Ren. They're just getting their pack tactics. She hits you for 2 bludgeoning. And she misses with the second attack. Thomas.
That intimidation factor.
Alright. I'm not liking how high these guys to hit is, so I'm gonna step over here. So I've got a view. And I know how smart Rend is. He's definitely gonna pass this saving throw.
Definitely. No question about that.
Well,
you say that, then he's gonna hit. He's gonna roll 20.
And he has resistance to all types of damage as well, so it's not a problem. Oh, yeah, except psychic, isn't it? Yeah.
Except psychic.
No,
Yep.
no, it's fine.
But I am going to cast it. Spend a sorcery point to cast it carefully to make sure that he
Nice.
succeeds.
Do you want to do it one over?
Yeah, just drop there.
Or is that someone that we can kill as well?
No, you can get everybody. Just move it up a little.
Yeah. I reckon, yeah, you could actually.
The windows of this house are closed, so you're not going to kill like someone just like cooking some lunch in their house or anything like that.
Good.
It's like look out their window, the head explodes. Nothing like that. Roll on the wild magic surge table, Thomas.
Oh,
Let's
God.
get some action happening in here.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Fireball. That's what
Don't
we need
do
right
it.
now. Fireball.
Alright, this is for the 3 thugs.
Oh, that's not bad.
Ooh.
Yes, it is. A fireball
So-
would have cleared out these ones.
As long as I've got butterflies fluttering around me, I'm going to skip whenever I move.
Alright, that's
But yeah, so Ren succeed.
okay, so you take 11 psychic damage, Rand. Automatically succeed. Alright, so the 3 thugs down to the south, firstly, they have this powerful psychic energy flood their minds. They start shaking their heads and they're getting all messed up. Then Django is going to make one. And he will use Indomitable. I'm indomitable! I'm not! And he fails. And he's still not looking too injured. You can tell that this guy is seasoned. Buffalo Bill, he fails. And he starts to scream. He's definitely not as tough as Django.
More about reducing that to hit, I think, for the damage. But yeah, all right, then I'll
And
back up.
yeah, you kill
And,
about you kill 2d6 rats as well. They're just scuttering around here. Yeah, you killed 2 rats. There are only 2. All right, this woman, she's getting messed up from the psychic energy, but she'll still try to hit Rend. Minus 1d6 on her attacks, and she hits. Swings the club wildly. Hits you for 2 bludgeoning. Second attack, it's a miss. And she tries to shrug the spell, but she fails. This thug is going to keep on whacking on Norin. First attack hits for 4 bludgeoning.
That back tactics is killing me.
Second attack is a miss. Buffalo Bill is coughing and spluttering. Yeah! This reminds me of the time when I found a sea maiden in the middle of nowhere. Turns out I was just in the galley and I ended up making out with the cook. I don't know why I just told everyone that. And
You'll be
story.
taking that story to your grave.
he's going to swing his longsword at Norin. You've got him with the unwavering mark, so he'll just focus on you,
Yes.
Norin. Miss. Miss. And a miss. He's going to throw that longsword to the ground. He's going to pick up Django's as well. I should have done that before I attacked.
Oh, if he had 2+2 shorts, 2+2 long swords, we could have just picked one of them. I didn't even think about that. Oh well.
Nara.
Nara's gonna move there and then attack the guy with the high-pitched voice again.
Jenga.
20 hits. Oh,
And
28
the second
hits.
time.
16 is a miss.
And then with the third attack, I'm gonna try to shove him and knock him down again.
Alright, he has minus... Oh no, I think the synaptic stacks attack rolls and saving throws. Anyway, he's going straight down. Poof,
And then I'm going to bonus action and use Shield Mastery to try to shove the second guy, the pirate guy.
Alrighty. And you trip him up as well. Just check him in his kneecap with your shield. And poof, he hits the deck.
And that's my turn.
Sam.
I'm going to cast Life Transference onto Norin.
Oh.
So I will do. Ouch. You
Oh,
get
that's a good
48. You get
Ooh.
48 damage, or 48 healing.
You see these massive crackling tethers of red and purple energy just transfer from Than to Norin.
Thank you, friend.
Keep fighting, my friend. And I will bonus action. I guess just put the help action on. Look at you, just get everything prone. Okay.
These ones.
Yeah.
Or Rand.
Yeah, maybe I'll do the one next to Rand over. Actually, yeah. Let me just make sure I'm within 30 feet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Norin.
Alright, first I'm gonna attack the high-pitched voice.
I have a name, motherfucker! That hits.
Not that good at this.
That's
Alright.
awesome.
You hit him again, and he's still not bloodied, actually. Very close.
I'm gonna reapply the unwavering mark upon him.
Okay.
And then I will turn to Billy Bob, whatever his name is.
Ruffalo Bill.
Sorry, I forget. Start
Got
stabbing
it.
him. He seems like he's a little easier to hit.
Why did you tell everyone about us? Buffalo Bill!
And then I'll put my unwavering mark on Buffalo Bill again, and then I'll stab Buffalo Bill one more time.
That's another hit. And you slice him straight in his torso. Blood everywhere. He's looking pretty messed up.
Alright. And I'll sit back and watch Rind cut somebody else in half.
Rand.
Let's see. The one diagonal from me. I'm a reckless attack and great weapon master her.
That's a hit.
Gone.
And yeah, just sear her into two pieces. Two quarterized pieces.
The ones south of me then, same thing.
That's another hit. And she's hanging on by a thread, but she wishes she was dead.
You still have a bonus action.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave her though for the next round, and then take that
Dare
one.
you?
I'm gonna save you for later.
Well, he reckless, so do you really want him to do it?
Hit. And you slash her straight down to the ground. The person who was making their lunch in this house had just opened their window to see that, and they quickly slammed the window shut and closed the curtains.
I smile real quick at him, blood all over me. All right.
Hello, friend.
This is one of them 2d6 stabbings, she says. Lily.
Alright, Lily's going to attempt to burn her blade down on this guy.
That is a hit.
I think we've done more than our 3 stabbings, though.
Alright, when you swing the shadow blade like through his face, he screams out, "Gah!" And his nose starts bleeding and he starts breathing heavily. He's looking pretty messed up.
Alright, I'll do it again. I'll try to do it non-lethally.
That's another hit. Just hit him this time, breaking through that double parry. He's just screaming out in agony. Blood everywhere.
Alright.
He gets up and he's like wavering. He's stumbling everywhere. He's squinting through the blood and sweat that covers his face, and he's lost his composure. He takes a swing at you, Lily, at disadvantage. And he misses. He swings over at Norin. And misses. And then he makes a third attack on Norin. And that misses. And he then starts to run away.
Where are you going?
You provokes from Lily, Roderick, Nora,
stick.
Nara,
That's all.
and Ren.
Alright.
Come out!
Also non-lethally.
What happened? You were all words before.
Alright, Nara, you miss.
I think I missed.
Nara, you
I was gonna try to get him
crit.
to stay.
You slash him straight across his torso. 21 damage. Sorry, 22 damage. And Rend, he ducks underneath your attack and says, "Ah! Miss me with your axe!" And Roderick, you turn into
Use
a
my
precision. Okay.
For that one, so a d8.
16
that
plus
should
a
be-
d8.
It's a 4 is the number. Yeah.
20. Alright, he will use
Yep.
his reaction to parry a 20 as he backs away, as he runs off. And he's just like running away, sprinting down the street. And leaving just a trail of blood behind him. Help! He's saying.
You're gonna need it.
Roderick.
So I'm gonna step over there
Alright, Thug.
and use my bow now.
The Thug's going to attack.
Oh yeah.
And it'll be pack tactics. The Thug hits you for 5 bludgeoning. And even Buffalo Bill's going to do a cheap shot and try and slash you in the leg. And with his... I don't know if this is adding a +2. Yeah, it is. He hits you for 6 slashing damage as well on the ground. Actually, he's got the synaptic static, so 17.
That 17 misses.
Alright,
It-
misses you.
And Seb, it's actually on ability checks and attack rolls and concentration saves only. Is the only save.
Attack rolls saving throw. It's attack rolls, ability checks, and concentration saving throws.
Right.
Okay. I'll change that.
So yeah, I'm going to use my bow now to shoot at him. And I'll make that one a menacing one as well.
Okay. Alright, yeah. That hits him. You stick an arrow straight in to his back.
So just roll.
And he stumbles forward. Makes a wisdom save. I am indomitable! Uses indomitable. Again.
Okay.
Still fails. And he screams. Ah! He screams. Like in a really deep voice.
And then I'll shoot him again.
He speaks normally like a little girl, but he screams like a man. That misses.
I will use a dice to try to hit. Precision. So 20.
That's another hit, and you sink an arrow straight into his side.
Sure. I think that's all I can do. Yeah.
No, believe in yourself, Roderick. You can do it.
When they see Django running, the rest of them run, but this one will disengage, and she just starts running down the street. Fuck this! Bye! She disengages and starts running off. This one looks up at Rend and just says, "Just kill me." And she just stands there.
Poor thing.
Thomas.
All right. Step out here. I'm gonna quick and ray of frost. Just double check. Yeah, got one of the war mages, so I'll cover. Yeah, quicken that at the guy down here, the guy running. Slow him down.
You hit him, and a shard of ice splits straight through his leg. He falls onto a knee.
And I'll do the action, the fire and ice combo thing.
Alright, you hit him with a fireball, and it just slams into his back, and he's hit the ground dead. The rest of the thugs are running, but Buffalo Bill just yells out, "No!" And it looks like he's going to die fighting. This woman just, she runs over and just like dives through this window, smashes through the window, and starts running with a disengage. Buffalo Bill gets to his feet. "You bastards! You took everything from me! I pretended I was drunk in the galley that night, but I wasn't! Ah!" And then...
Who is this?
This is Buffalo Bill. And he swings his long sword at Norin. And he misses. He turns around and swings at Nara at disadvantage. And that completely misses. Then he takes his short sword and he tries to hit Norin.
Hey now, not in public.
And misses because it's an aptic static. 18.
Okay, good.
Nara.
I'm going to attack Buffalo Bill.
That hits him. You run the longsword across his torso and he's about to die.
And again.
That's another hit, but he's still standing.
And again.
And that hits. He comes in to try and slash you with his cutlass and just drive the longsword straight through him, bursts out of his back and falls onto the ground, making eye contact with Django.
Oh, that wasn't non-lethal.
Across the way. Unless you were trying to do it non-lethally. But he's gone.
And then I would like to move. And
Don't kill
that's
her.
my turn.
Alright,
That
then.
cut out for a second.
I'll just toll the dead on the last one that's still.
That won't kill her, will it? Don't kill her. Don't kill her.
Absolutely
Oh,
kill her.
don't kill her?
No.
Can I non-lethal toll the dead? Is that a possible? Well, not
Nah,
really.
that'll-
I don't think so.
I mean, you could have her making death saves, I guess. Try and stabilize her if you want.
Can I toll the dead and then immediately spare the dying as a bonus action?
Sure.
Toy with her life.
I will. Well, if it kills her.
I respect her for not running.
She drops
so I
to
don't
the
like
ground with this patch of necrosis just making the way up her neck. Her face looks like
Ren goes,
a zombie's.
No!
And then spare the dying as a bonus action.
Okay.
Yeah!
Before the corpse even hits the ground.
The full. I provide full service.
Pew pew.
She's stable. And the other thugs have just run off, trying to disappear into crowds of people for cover.
I didn't realize Ren wanted a pet.
A few of them escaped.
Yeah, he missed out on the griffins.
She's got to work on her leg strength, though, since I'm right on her back.
You look through the window, and one of them is just like casually shopping in this store, like picking out items.
Norn is just like, well, it looks like we'll have to use that grate already. Damn. Alright.
Oh, great.
That's the corpse grate?
And yeah, when you do look around here, there's a few people looking through windows and stuff like that, but most people are just turning a blind eye, and there ain't no guards that come running.
They're just sleeping, don't worry.
Everything's fine. Everybody's fine.
They're just covered in blood. They're just sleeping, don't worry.
This guy looks through the window. How many is that today? How many stabbings were there today? 11. Damn. That's...
I mean, do you count the stabbings by like the whole event, or how many times somebody stabs during an event?
I'll move this thug kind of off to the side somewhere so people don't trample her in the middle of the road.
Okay.
Let's start checking pockets.
The ground is like really squishy as well, and although it looks like solid ground in many places, it's very soggy. It's a mixture of wood and cement, so like sometimes it's like really soft wood, and your foot just falls through the ground. Like disgusting puddles everywhere as well. Buffalo Bill, he has a pirate's hat.
Yeah.
Flying cloth.
Nice.
It clashes with the antlers.
Is it a +1 pirate's hat?
Yeah, +1 to saying R.
He has this magic longsword.
That is good to have.
He has another longsword and a short sword and 6 light crossbows and 20 crossbow bolts if anyone wanted
6
them
light
with that.
crossbows?
Yeah.
Why does he
Can
have
we
that many?
check the quality of these crossbows?
They're
Are
not,
these Zentarum ones?
they're not very good crossbows. Like, you can tell that they've barely been fired, and that's because that you feel like they're probably not even going to fire. Just for show more than that. He has like leather straps as well, in which he had the crossbows attached to. He does have a gold tooth that you noticed.
I'll pull it out.
5 GP. Okay.
Smash his
There you go.
face and pick the tooth that's gold.
Yeah.
There you go. And he has 36 silver in his coin pouch.
I mean, yeah, I guess we'll take it. We're here.
As you're doing this, a couple of street rats are starting to gather around. Some urchins, some scavengers.
Shoo.
And
Shoo.
even like one of the thugs that was just attacking you was like looking around like
Point
Don't
them
loot
on
the corpses.
Hey.
to loot the corpses basically.
Jeez.
Actually, I call her over to take care of her friend. I said, if anything happens, if I find out she's dead, I'm hunting you down.
She
Why do you care about this random person so much?
Because she stood up to me when everybody else ran.
she quickly runs and starts just pilfering her friend.
I attack.
Really? You-
I do.
Yeah.
He said take care of
Did
her.
you want to just
Take
scare her
care of
off,
her.
or did you?
It
go
tracks.
back into
It
combat?
tracks. Exactly what Ren would do.
That's what Ren would do, yeah.
She'll break
So-
away from that fight. She won't stay to see the end of
Okay.
that. She runs off injured.
And Nara just points her sword in the direction of everybody that's gathering around while my companions do their thing here.
You're
Just kind of
invisible.
like stay back. Oh yeah, shit, I am. They can't. Well, I don't know. Do I know that though?
Yeah, you can't actually see yourself, but it goes away after a minute anyway. So
Nara's
they
just
can see
screaming
you.
the whole time. I can't see. I can't see. Wait, I can see. What the fuck?
I guess I have to throw her over my shoulder until she wakes up.
Django also has a magic longsword, and then he has a heavy crossbow. He wears studded leather armor. He doesn't have anything else that you guys would find too interesting, except for his coin pouch, which has 33 gold pieces.
Hey, we finally got some gold back in here.
And the thugs, they just have like a few silver pieces on them, and their weapons.
We're
like,
still in the hole. We got to keep hunting.
the quality of the gear is shoddy at best. Nothing else that you guys will find interesting on them. And they're a press gang, so they would, you know.
Just random two guys with random magic longswords. I mean, we'll take it.
Yeah, Django seemed like he'd been doing this a while. He seems like a good fighter, but the rest, nothing too special.
What does Nara swing?
Longsword.
Favor the longsword.
A +2 longsword.
You
And
guys
run.
will have to identify them. You can tell that they're magical because of
No.
the strength and the blue glow that run up and down the blade. But you will need to identify them to see exactly what they are.
Yeah.
The press gangs, they will, they could wait till you're asleep or just approach you on the street. They'll kidnap people, and you may even go into like a bar or something and have a drink, and then the drink's poisoned. You pass out, then you wake up on a ship out at sea, and you're expected to work for free for 6-7 months at a time, and then they'll
Until
probably
you die.
until you die, or if they're kind, they'll bring you back to your family.
So, do we want to just leave these in the street, or do we want to actually throw them down the grate?
Oh, great.
I mean, to be fair, these beggars and whatnot will probably just eat them.
Oh.
Excuse me, sirs. This decrepit fellow with a dirty cow comes around the corner. I could find use for those.
Yeah, what will you give us for him?
Oh. What do you want? I run an alchemy lab, and I could find use for those.
You make potions?
The creepy guy.
No, I never really found a need for that sort of alchemy. I consider myself a cleric, actually. Just one who's a little bit late to the party, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
So a necromancer.
No.
Oh, that's that
Sorry.
word is so tarnished.
Than does not condone that type of.
These guys
Use
deserve
of-
what they get.
Oh, but it's such a waste. Shouldn't their bodies have some sort of use after death?
We should return to the earth.
The souls are gone.
I have these body bags on me that I carry around all day.
Their souls have gone to be reborn in another body.
Save us the trouble of cleaning up out here.
Oh, I'll make these bodies disappear easily.
You know what he's going to do with it.
You best head along now, for murder is a crime here in the Styes, and when the guards come here, they'll be looking for answers.
And you're not gonna sheath your sword in these things, are you? It's not what you have up your sleeve. You can actually put into some alchemical use.
You'll best be heading along now.
Wish I hadn't asked. I just shrugged and walked.
This is the Styes, good sir. And he just starts dragging bodies away.
What a very strange place this is.
Yes.
Oh, he went right into that shop. What do they sell? I want to like look in the window. What are they selling?
Guys.
And did
There's
he-
just corpses
did
on the
he-
back wall lined up.
It's a bakery.
Ah!
Well, let's not eat any meat pies anywhere in the town.
I've just decided
It's a
I'm a vegan.
bakery / butchery.
Did we, after all that, did we end up noticing anything when we walked by the warehouse?
You haven't got there yet. It's like it's literally at the end of the street, though.
we got a cost before we could even get there. That's a good sign, guys.
And I'm carrying that woman until she finally wakes up, so I just got it thrown over my shoulder.
Oh, so she doesn't get cooked.
Just like belongings now. This is Ren's.
This is mine.
Okay, Kernan. All right. You continue down the street, and yeah, you guys are getting looks everywhere, of course. And then, all right, you guys drop by Mr. Dory's warehouse, as it's marked on the map, in the Hemlock Pit. And according to the map, you're at the location now. It's a 3-story stone building. It's roofed in slate. It's dotted with iron-barred windows. The walls and roof appear to be coated with this bituminous black gruel, an accumulation of the pollution that belches from all the nearby alchemists' workshops. And behind the warehouse spreads this large grey-green pit of mud. There's this huge rickety crane protruding from the far wall of the warehouse. Its limbs are rusted and bent, and dangling from it, the crane, is the dripping hulk of a ship, hanging some 50 feet in the air. And here's some artwork of what it looks like.
Cool.
What the?
An airship?
There's no sails on this ship. It looks like a sailing ship. It's been hoisted up on a crane.
Looks like it. I mean, look at all the seaweed hanging off of it. It looks like it was underwater.
That's actually just pollution and muck and
ugh.
scum that's built up so much that it can dangle down from the hull of the ship. The same black coating that covers the building. And this place is pretty busy. It's bustling with workers. People are loading and unloading these large 6-wheeled freight wagons, moving in and out of the main warehouse. You guys are just walking by. Workers are moving in and out. It's a large, reasonably large warehouse. It's about 100 feet on a side, 100 feet long and about 50 feet wide. 3 stories, high ceiling. So the actual building is about 80 feet tall. Very large building. The most prominent one in the area. People are working here. Moving
Anything by way of like security?
Yeah, there are a couple of guards checking people as they're going in and out. You see only one main entrance. It's kind of off to the side of the street. There's one guard there checking people as they're coming in and out. And yeah, people are just going about their business.
Is there anything in particular that we're looking for here?
You guys were just dropping by, I believe.
We wanted to just kind of get a general impression as because we're just walking by on our way to the high quarter.
We can check it out later this evening.
Figure nighttime espionage.
Yeah,
Because that's where they were
about.
sending our jockstrap pirate guy was sending stuff.
More than likely.
Yeah, that's the assumption.
Yeah.
So, didn't he address it to a name? The letter?
Well, it said to D, like hello D, and well, Dory starts with a D. So.
Can
Yeah,
I?
He has a warehouse.
You said there's workers around. Can we ask one of the workers who's the master of these dogs?
No, that's his warehouse. That's marked on the map.
Yeah, this is
Sorry.
Mr. Dory's warehouse. It says it on the map.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. It says number 7, Dory's warehouse.
Yeah.
So D
Mr.
could
Dory's-
be Dory then. Yeah, cut it. All right.
Yeah, that's what the assumption is.
Okay.
There's the letter that we're basing that.
Can we make out anyone calling out to someone named Dory or anything like that?
The workers aren't really saying too much. They're just hauling cargo in and out, moving carefully with large crates and into the warehouse, unloading them off wagons, basically.
Yeah,
We
the
asked
issue isn't knowing whose warehouse is. We know it's Dory's warehouse. We need to find out what was being shipped there. If you know what I mean. Not looking to find out whose it is. We're looking to find out what's in there.
So we're breaking in later, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably, yeah.
All right. So can we maybe look around to see if there's any side entrances or how many entrances there is to the place?
There only appears to
During
be
the-
one entrance.
Okay.
It's just a single large entrance, and it's not even big enough to fit a wagon in. So wagons are lined up outside, and then they're moving crates carefully with trolleys into the warehouse, and then they're loading and unloading some cargo. Yeah, it's pretty busy. People are being busy here, and you're only walking by, as to not attract attention to yourself. So you're already past it now. And you're continuing on to the Hopener Asylum, is the plan.
Yes.
Alright, you guys continue through the Alchemists Quarter, and you now arrive in the High Quarter. It's slightly different. It's not a far cry from the Alchemist Quarter. There's not as much pollution. And yeah, you see this Hemlock Pit is basically, it's this map is a scale, so it's like a 500-foot wide pit of refuse and mud, alchemical leftovers and dyes, and it's just a big garbage pit full of crap, basically. So the High Quarter, so this is where the seat of the local government is. Southeast section of the Styes. Most of the buildings look kind of deserted, actually. Maybe 1 or 2 offices are still in use, but yeah. There's some of them look like these were buildings for congressmen and whatnot. Now they actually look like hostels and things like that. Even people's homes. Not very many people around here, actually. It's kind of empty. The streets are pretty empty. The boardwalks are in stark contrast to the crowds. You're not really getting any looks here, and it's eerily quiet. A group of guards do march by you. A group of 11 guards. They look at you guys, but they don't stop to question you or anything like that. They're just marching through. And you come to the Hopener Asylum. It's an enormous building. And there's just a single sign out the front of this building. It's a stone building. It looks like a prison. It has barred windows. And the faded sign says, "Welcome home," above the main entrance. There's just a single door. and this frayed fence surrounding the perimeter. You guys head on in, and it's kind of eerie in this place. This is where insane people are taken. It's very dark and dingy. There are just some torches illuminating the walls slightly. There's mold and mildew and puddles of water everywhere. You head down this long hallway. There's no like clerk's office or anything like that. You come to a dome-shaped chamber up ahead with a wooden trapdoor in the ground, and this haunted-looking elf woman is just sitting on what looks like some stone steps. And Ren, what are you doing with this woman?
I was carrying her over my shoulder until she finally woke up.
Okay, she's still unconscious.
They're gonna think you're here to make a deposit.
She could be a deposit potential.
Maybe he is.
This is a hospital, right?
Alright, this haunted looking elf is just sitting on these rough hewn looking steps. She has her arms crossed over her knees and she's rocking back and forth, and you think that she could be a patient here by the look of her. She's whispering to herself.
I say hello in Elvish, and I walk towards her.
She looks up at you and gives you like this worrying stare, and she just stares at you without saying anything.
Don't be frightened. What's your name?
She keeps on staring at you, and she stares at you for like 30 seconds.
I think you have to speak up.
Can I
Bray?
try?
I'm Bray.
Hi, Bray. I'm Than. What are you doing here?
I
Is she speaking Elvish or Common?
Common. I greet the visitors. Yes. Are you looking for Trantor? Should I fetch Trantor? Trantor
Sure.
is the one that lets people in and out. You can stay in the foyer. I'll be right back.
Well, we can ask you if you'd like, if you don't mind. What was the name of the dude that we're looking for?
Charm.
She
Charm.
stares at you again.
She left?
She's about to leave. She gets up.
We were
Starts to head
looking
up
for
the
anyone that
stairs.
knew Jorm. Do you remember Jorm?
Oh, so many. So many residents here. 400. I'm sure one of them has that name. I'll be right back. Just stay. Tranta will be coming. Okay? Ray runs off. And you guys are just hanging about here. This is the foyer. It's, I mean, it's just an empty room filled full of water, and it smells absolutely horrible. You can hear like tormented screams in the distance. Very
Can I check
muffled,
this room
tormented
for
screams.
any secret doors or anything while we're waiting?
Sure. Make a perception check. It's lit enough so you can kind of see clearly. You can hold up your own light sources as well. And there doesn't seem to be any secrets. There's a trapdoor in the ground. Don't know where that leads. Trantor comes back though. Or Trantor arrives, and it actually starts to rain a little bit, and rain is like dripping through the ceiling now into these puddles.
Unpleasant.
Trantor arrives. She's wearing a plaid mask.
Oh,
Leather coat. You can't see her face or her arms or anything like that.
That is a very cool mask. I like it.
Perfect to keep insane people calm.
Welcome
Hello, giant bird.
to the Hopner Asylum. How can I help you?
Look to Thomas. He's been doing the talking.
Yeah. Hi, we had a friend that was executed, or associate that was executed a bit ago when we were...
Listen, I've got no time for long conversations or prying questions, so cut to the chase.
Alright, we'd like to talk to inmates that were here when Jarm was.
Sorry. Did you say Jarm?
I did say Jarm.
Oh, one of my patients. Oh, yes, Jarm's gone missing. Do you have information about him?
You say he's gone missing?
Yes, I'm worried about the poor boy. Have you seen him? Is that why you're here?
We haven't seen him. We were here to find out what he was... So we heard that he was executed.
Executed? You mean hung in the gallows?
Yes.
They have done this to me before. Just taken my patients without even informing me. I don't even know that they're gone until I check their room.
Inconsiderate of them. How do you function that way?
With all due respect, there are over 400 guests here in the Hopner Asylum. It is hard to keep track of them all, but there's something about Jarm that I remember. He's always a quiet sort. He was always resolute in his claims of innocence. But from what I heard, I mean, there's no doubt the evidence suggests that he was the murderer, caught bloody dagger in hand, the Ghost Lantern murderer.
Yeah, except that there's been more Ghost Lantern murders since he's been executed.
so you have 400 patients in here?
Yes.
We would like to see his room, please.
Oh, yes. I can arrange that, if you don't mind. Come with me. Right this way.
Doesn't 400 seem like a lot, you guys?
Yes.
For like a town this size?
Alright, you head up these stone stairs into this narrow tunnel. The ground is covered in slime. There are niches in the walls, there are rooms leading off, and there's crazy people looking at you through barred windows. Hey! Just ignore them. I would suggest that you hurry quickly. And you look through different rooms and you see just like, looks like dead people in one room, and you hear all these tormented screams coming from all around you.
Very quickly. Seems a little redundant.
Do not pay any attention to any voices that you hear. And there's constant screaming and cursing coming from the cells. There's this overpowering stench of unwashed bodies and filth and mildew, rotten straw. What's this? This is like some sort of bloodletting room. Just come quickly through this way. Do not pay any attention to anything else. This way, through this door, please.
This place
Jesus.
is awful.
So we're walking up. So you said you remembered something in particular about Jarm?
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you over the screams.
The music you got going, Seb, is particularly creepy, and I like it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Alright. Emil stops before this heavily locked door, and she offers a word of caution. This wing... Sorry, 1 second. Can you keep that stabbing down, that noise down? Thank you. You can hear bells dinging. I'm coming! Now, this wing is where we keep the worst of our cases. You don't need to look in any other cells. We've given succor to many folk over the years, but those here are truly forsaken by the gods. And Emil unlocks the door. There's a corridor leading to a circular room filled full of stone benches. And you can hear like unnatural gurgles churning up from other cells down other parts of the halls. There are iron doors lining walls, and Trantor's just trying to ignore this din and ushers you through into this room. And the walls beyond here are covered with childlike sketches, all overlapping one another in these confusing waves and pattern swells. This was John's room. I'll leave you here to make sense of these etchings, and if you'll forgive me, I will need to lock the door behind you.
If you're not back to unlock it very quickly, it will be broken down.
I'll come back in 30 minutes. Trust me, it's for your own good.
Before you go, you said you remembered something in particular about Jarm?
Just that he seemed
Can I-
genuinely remorseful. His remorse was far more compelling and believable than any of the other murderers that I've worked with. And they are many.
Do you recall anything else about his final days?
I didn't even realize that he had his final days. Actually, there was one thing that was odd.
And that was...
Well, I do think that whoever had taken him, well, you see, they take them at the militia's orders. He did have one visitor during his time here. The councillor, Mr. Dory. His presence here was unsettling and odd.
Why was that?
A councillor coming to the asylum to visit a patient?
Ah.
That's strange
I
if
see
you
what
ask me.
I see what you mean.
Now, Trantor takes some chains, these like hefty, rusty chains, and you hear this like screaming, "Help me! Let me out! Let me out!" If you excuse me, I've got some business to take care of. Emil starts like fastening these chains. Just hurry, please.
So, did he not lock the door then?
Emil's waiting for you guys to get in to close the door behind you.
Before,
I'll try to-
while you guys were talking, I'm going to be inspecting the room for any vents or anything that's suspiciously like a trap.
Before
If we're
entering.
in here locked.
Oven-like vent.
Yeah.
Okay. And Nara, what did you want to do?
I try to slip this guy a gold piece and say, you don't need to worry about us. We can take care of ourselves. Don't worry about locking the door.
Make a persuasion check, Nara.
Nice. Good bribing skills.
Suit yourself. Takes the gold piece and then just dangles these chains a little bit. And as Emil gets to the end of the door, starts swinging the chain around. I'm coming to sort you out.
Yeah, that guy's a little too creepy. I ain't letting him lock us in here.
Alright, Stan, you take a look around and there's nothing hazardous about this room. But I need everyone to actually make a constitution check now. You've moved through these rooms and this is not for the faint-hearted.
Oh, a check, not a save.
Yeah, check.
That would be... Oh, it'd be a 10.
Oh, I did a save as well. Oops.
It'd be a 10 instead of a 14.
Okay. What would you have, Stan, for a constitution check?
I re-rolled a check, but you want to take my first roll?
Yeah.
I rolled a 6. 8.
Okay.
Sorry. No, I get +3.
You rolled a
9.
6, 9. Okay. Alright, due to the torment that's going on here, Fan, you have 1 level of exhaustion while you're in this place. Like the equivalent of 1 level of exhaustion. It's more of a mind exhaustion rather than a body exhaustion. Lily, you also have 1 level of exhaustion. And everyone else is dealing with this horrible situation just fine. Oh, and Rand, I have to roll for your unconscious. Yeah, Emil also just like does not comment on the unconscious person and slung over Rand's shoulder at all. Like doesn't even notice it.
Just leave her in this room.
Just regular day. Just same old, same old.
The worst fate.
But yeah,
ever.
this is just because, because of this being in this insane asylum, it's taken its toll on you guys. Everyone else is doing fine though. Alright, as you guys head into this room, you can the sounds of the people's tormented screams are kind of muffled a little bit here. And there are these strange sketches on the wall. You see little pieces of chalk on these stone benches, and then the walls are just covered with these markings everywhere. Does someone have like a lantern or something to inspect them?
Yeah, Norrin would.
Alright.
Norrin would take out a lantern.
Norrin takes out a lantern. This is what it looks like. Norrin takes out his lantern. That's Norrin there. And yeah, there are sketchings all over these walls.
I see an octopus.
It's not a bad drawing of an octopus. It's pretty good.
Was that under like a squid or a dolphin?
You're not here for a critique of art. These are strange
Kraken.
tentacle things on the walls.
Yeah, I don't like
There's some
the
true
butt
artists
though,
in here.
but it's not that bad.
Looks like it's flying above a city.
As you guys, they're kind of like childlike sketches. They overlap each other, and there are these confusing waves and pattern swirls. And as you guys make this terrifying discovery, your characters can attempt to make sense of this. But we're going to wrap it up here for tonight.
Sounds good.
You guys have to spend the night in the asylum. No, I'm joking. You have to.
Great treasure will be yours. You just have to survive the night. Alright, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Been good.
Thanks, guys. And also, Joshua, thanks for joining.
He's not here.
Oh, did he already get out?
I think his internet crapped.
Oh, did it?
He was saying there's a storm. There was a
Oh,
storm
yeah.
or something.
Okay. Alright, well, I'll tell him thanks and whatnot. And yeah, I'll see you guys here next week for the next
We can be your
part of
witnesses if you like.
this,
Alright.
this murder mystery. Alright, see you guys then. Night all, bye bye.
Later.
Yeah, well.
Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching, Kamari. See you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.